A very pleasant good evening, everyone, from Zabel Stadium in Williamsburg. Welcome tonight from Van Wagner to the Tribe Sports Network. Hello again, everybody. This is Jay Colley, and along with my two Hall of Fame colleagues, Mike Leach and Sean Knight, we welcome you to Game 1 of the 2024 season. Tonight, the Tribe of William & Mary takes on the VMI Keydets. And Mike Leach, this is a long-standing rivalry that hadn't been played in a long time.
That's right. It's not the last played since 2011. 25 straight wins for the Tribe, but there shouldn't be any scar tissue there built up for the VMI Cadets, nor should there be any overwhelming sense of invincibility for the Tribe, as obviously none of these players were around in 2011, and no one on the coaching staff were either. So, William & Mary comes in this game favored, ranked as high as number 15 nationally in many preseason polls. Like we saw last week, Florida State went and played Georgia Tech over in Ireland, very heavily favored, ranked number 10 in their preseason poll, and Georgia Tech ran the ball well and kicked a late field goal to beat the Seminoles. So I don't think the Cadets are going to care about any preseason polls. I know both these coaching staffs are going to have their groups ready to go, and I expect to see a very fast-paced and physical game out in the field tonight.
Speaking of statistically in this game, VMI versus William & Mary, Sean, what do you expect?
Expect a very physical ball game. Mike alluded to that. Both of these ball clubs like to establish themselves at the line of scrimmage, running the football. A year ago, the Keydets averaged over 117 yards a game on the ground, and the Tribe, of course, rushing for almost 200 yards a game. So both of them are going to want to get out to a solid start, controlling that line of scrimmage and running that football and doing some things in the passing game off that.
Well, we're excited about it. Kickoff's coming up. This game brought to you by the Norfolk Airport Authority.
Here at William & Mary, I don't have to make any sacrifices in my education. We are a liberal arts institution and a research university. We have a small, tight-knit campus, but also there's always a new friend to meet. Campus is beautiful, and I call it home, but there are also amazing study abroad opportunities. William & Mary encompasses everything and anything you could be interested in. There is so much room for exploration.
William & Mary is a story of transformation. William & Mary is a story of possibilities. William & Mary is a place where you can come and change yourself and change your worldview and go out and change the world itself.
Excitement building here at Zabel Stadium as the opening game of the 24 season about to begin. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks very much to the game's game sponsor, Norfolk Airport. Norfolk Airport, proud supporter of Tribe Athletics. Tribe fans, Howl-O-Scream returns this fall to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, giving victims something to scream about with all new scares and screams to the extreme on select dates from September the 8th through October the 31st. Your fate awaits with 5 newly reimagined haunted houses, leaving no tale of terror left unturned. Fans, every sack is a sack to give back this year. Food Lion Feeds will donate 1,000 meals to the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank each time the Tribe defense sacks the opposing team's quarterback. It would be nice to do that a lot tonight, Mike, but it's a run-oriented team we're going to see this evening. VMI, probably not a whole lot of chances for a quarterback sack.
No, I don't think so. VMI, like we said, we talked to some of the broadcasters from the other team, and after doing some scouting on this VMI Keydets, they want to keep that ball on the ground. They run that ball. They got a great running back there in Hunter Rice coming back. He's a really solid player, averaged 5.1 yards per carry, had 14 touchdowns for the Keydets last year. So William Mary's going to have to try to find a way to stop him. Yeah,
and Sean, you and I were talking as we see the team comparisons from last year. Don't know exactly how important those are. It gives you a flavor for what maybe both head coaches like to do. But the Tribe has a starting quarterback in Darius Wilson, who's in his 4th consecutive year at starting quarterback. You were that position 3 years in a row. What's he feeling tonight?
I think the big thing right now, especially coming off a season that did not end the way he wanted it to end, he's looking to get off to a good start. Probably a lot of adrenaline pumping right now. And so I really look for Mario Alcatella to try to get him some high percentage throws early, run the football, maybe some misdirection passes, some high percentage stuff to the tight ends or to the backs, just to let him work some of that out of him. Probably a lot of adrenaline right now, wanting to get off to a good start.
Well, Mike, who is going to get off to a good start? Who's going to get on the offensive side first?
William Mary's going to receive this opening kickoff of the 24 season.
Well, it'll be the aforementioned Darius Wilson and company, Bronson Yoder. The Tribe offense just a plethora of outstanding skill position players. But as I always start out the skill position talk, I go to the skill position of the left tackle, Charles Grant.
I tell you, Charles Grant, had a heck of a year last year, cut short a little bit. He redshirted. But in talking to Mario Acatelli, I mean, he has really had a tremendous offseason, a tremendous preseason, and perhaps is even better, just seems to get better and better each day. He's on all kinds of preseason watch lists. He's a preseason All-American pick. So looking forward to seeing what Bronson Yoder coming back, a healthy Bronson Yoder can do running behind that offensive line in Charles Grant.
Gentlemen, it is a whiteout, and the student body across the way got the memo, and so did the Tribe team, as the Tribe will be on their all-white uniforms with the green numerals and gold trim and the gold helmet as well. Bronson Yoder and Malachi Emo will be deep to receive this kick.
Great to see Bronson Yoder back there, Jay. I remember all those years ago, about 6 years ago now, Bronson Yoder returning all those touchdowns. It's great to see him back there. He looks a lot thicker than he did back in the day. He's obviously always been a strong runner. He looks even got a little more behind that strong running now to lay a little more punishment on the would-be tacklers.
Yeah, we broadcasters have had to get used to that sixth year thing. I think we're getting out of that now with the COVID extra year or so, but it is good to see Bronson Yoder back. I'd have him back for a seventh year if we could. But season about set to get underway. All red unis for the visiting VMI Keydets. We have not seen the Keydets since 2011. And for those of you keeping score, the Tribe has won 25 consecutive games in this series. Here's the kick, kind of a short kick, and it will be Malachi Emo at the 11. He's quickly at the 20, upfield of the 25, still on his feet and getting away across the 30, out to the 33-yard line, and that is where the Tribe will take it first and 10 from that point.
Yeah, it looked like, I think it was Terrell, like maybe Luke Shallow there for VMI had a chance. He laid a pretty big hit, but something to watch here, Jay and Sean, is a lot of these teams have done a lot of live tackling here in the preseason. Guys do a lot of thudding, but not a lot of wrapping up and bringing their own teammates to the ground. So we'll see who can respond and have the least missed tackles in this game.
Well, here's Darius Wilson out of the Bronx, New York, Iona Prep. He's in his fourth year as a starter for William & Mary. Two receivers to the far side, tight end set to the near. Three down linemen for VMI. They'll rush the football to the left side with Bronson Yoder, who gets hit hard after about a 1 yard carry. As typical Bronson fighting for that extra yards, it'll bring up second down and 8. And the lineups for the offensive team, the Tribe of William & Mary, Sean.
Yeah, the Tribe, of course, that offensive line is anchored by Charles Grant, but there's some studs on that offensive line to help him as well. Ryan McKenna, of course, Bart Francois, who's put on quite a bit of weight and strength over the offseason. So looking forward to running the football behind him. And again, having a healthy Bronson Yoder here. The receivers on the outside. Great to have Drayshawn Kendrick in there. And, of course, the trigger man is Darius Wilson.
And he triggers it out to the left side complete. That's got some running room. Down the sideline he goes across the 50-yard line. And that is a 1st and 10 for William & Mary in the second play from scrimmage this evening here at Zabel Stadium.
Yeah, Drayshawn's going to get credit for the yards here, but some great blocking out front. You're going to see right here on replay. You got a kick out coming out right there by Bronson Yoder. Another kick in there, if you would, and created a little alley there for Drayshawn Kendrick to run through. It's just a perfectly executed play.
And that's what we kind of talked about, giving Darius a high percentage throw to work through some of that adrenaline rush at the beginning of the game.
1st and 10 inside the 50-yard line of the 48. And it will be a pitch back to the right side, and that's going to be tripped up and fell. That's Hollis. No, it is Hollis Mathis on the carry, on the pitch back from Darius Wilson. A little trickery there. I think Hollis was wide first, and then Darius Wilson from the shotgun formation, pitch back to the athlete on the field. ATH is what he's on the scorecard. I've not seen that, but we're going to take it as it's said. He's a great athlete.
He's a great athlete, quarterback, of course, coming in, but he's really demonstrated how much of a Swiss Army knife he can be.
Wilson flicks it to the left side. That is knocked down up front by one of the defensive linemen for the VMI Keydets. Looked like Taj Sumi, actually a defensive back, shot through the gap and knocked that ball away. Second down and 10.
He may have been fortunate that ball was knocked down. It looked like Noel Innocent there, the cornerback for VMI, was trying to jump the out route by Drayshawn Kendrick and made a pretty good move on that ball. I think could have been picked off, so maybe a fortunate break there for the Tribe.
Actually, it's 3rd and 10. Garrett Robertson is the wide out to the far side of the football field. Got a slot man over there as well. Wilson looking over the defense for the Keydets. The Tribe trying to keep this first drive alive. In the pocket, got plenty of time. Now he's going to run. He scampers about 8-9 yards. He's got a first down. Down to the 35-yard line. Mr. Official, move those chains. 1st and 10, green and gold.
Really good decision by Darius there, taking what the defense gives, not forcing the ball downfield.
Well, of his 41 TDs, Darius Wilson has 10 rushing TDs. So as we know him, I think he had a 50-yard touchdown run a couple of years ago right here on this same field as well. So he's got the legs to do it if called upon and if needed.
A wildcat look here to start, Jay.
Bronson Yoder looking over the defense. Man in motion, and they will fake a pitch, and Bronson going to carry it right up the middle, a spin move, and he will get inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. His ability, Mike, and we've seen it, to get 1 and 2 more yards when he looks like he's going to be down is just really incredible as we look at the defense for VMI.
Yeah, and that defensive line is going to have to try to stop Bronson Yoder. Like you said, Jay, I was interested to see how Bronson was going to respond to those first couple of hits he took coming off that shoulder injury and the surgery, and so far so good. He kind of absorbed that first hit there, that first carry he had, this time a little more physical, and I think as the game goes, his confidence is only going to go bigger and bigger, and I expect he's going to start delivering some blows here pretty soon.
Lineups brought to you by good friends at Chesapeake Bank. Tight end in motion, and the quarterback will hand off to the right side. Big hole for Bronson Yoder inside the 20 and the 15 and down to the 13-yard line inside the red zone for William and Mary. Red Zone Waypoint Grill. The Red Zone action is brought to you by Waypoint Grill. For every game day moment, trust Waypoint Grill to deliver.
And again, a lot of attention given. We're going hurry up.
And we will hurry up and get back to the play-by-play as Bronson Yoder right up the middle, and he will get down to around the 6-yard line. Continue.
Play before that, we talked a lot about Charles Grant, but as we said, there's some other guys on, some other studs on that offensive line, and so that previous play, running the football to the right, running there behind Bart Francois and Greg Klingensmith.
All these guys have had time on that line of scrimmage. They're not youngsters, but they're getting some fresh early starts tonight as Bronson Yoder gets inside the 5, and let's see where his knee touch, maybe back at the 4-yard line.
Tribe really trying to take advantage of what they feel probably better conditioning right now. Go and hurry up, not allow VMI to get off this field and make some defensive substitutions.
Kind of a tight offensive line. Bronson Yoder at the 3 to the 2, falling forward. Did he get in? No. Not a touchdown. It'll bring up a 1st and goal to goal, however.
Up here, it looked like he was almost on the back of the tackler. I thought maybe he got across.
Tribe going quickly, guys. Darius Wilson gets the snap. Handoff Bronson Yoder into the end zone. Touchdown, William and Mary. Touchdown, green and gold. The 28th time the captain, Bronson Yoder, hits pay dirt. Every touchdown is a Town Bank touchdown. Town Bank serving others, enriching lives.
Good block there by Sean McElwain, tight end position right here, coming from the right side of your screen. Just washes down number 18 for VMI right there. Looked like Stephen Dean III. Good job by Bronson Yoder making that cut right off of Sean McElwain's back there and gets into the end zone.
There's the extra point. It's up, and it is good. So Eric Bernstein with his first extra point of his career in the green and gold, a transfer from Monmouth. And we have a 7-0 game. Pretty good start, fellas, from the offensive side of the football, Sean.
I'm not sure Mario Acatelli could have drawn it up any better. Team coming out, being aggressive up front, running the football well, controlling the line of scrimmage, and getting that ball in the end zone for your first possession. I think that's exactly how Coach London and Coach Acatelli would like to have had this drive play out.
Real happy there for Bronson Yoder, Jay. I know last year he was, we're holding our breath, wondering what happened with him down in that field. I know it's been a long road back for him, put all that work in, and I know we were all excited here. He was coming back for the 6th year, and to see him to respond like he did, carried the ball the majority of the time there on that drive. Just a great performance so far.
Speaking of his 6th year, Mike London in his 6th year at the helm of William and Mary has led this team, Mike, to 3 consecutive winning seasons. You use that term culture, and it means a lot to a lot of people, but the culture in this team with the guys who are active in the community with the guys, as he says, they're going to class and showing class, are really showing their way tonight.
Well, yeah, and they're just guys full of great passion. They got big hearts. They're really smart guys, and just as William & Mary alums, Sean and I are, you're very proud of the group that Mike London has there and the job they do on the field, at the classroom, and in the community.
And you talk about the culture that he's built in this era of the transfer portal. I mean, to have so few Tribe players going into the portal, I think says a lot about the culture of the program here.
Yeah, great point, Sean. Here's the kick, and it's going to go out of the end zone.
I think we got the stoppage before the kick there, Jay. I think it's Josh McCormick kicking off, handling kickoff duties.
Was there a flag down, or maybe Coach London wants an explanation from the officials?
He's trying to get one. Hand gestures, I don't think he likes the answer he's getting.
Right. 7-0, William & Mary drawing first blood on their opening drive. A 68-yard drive by my count. We'll get the official numbers in a moment, but Tribe's off to a good start at the 10:02 mark, or at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter.
How about right now, Jay? 11 plays, 69 yards. 5 minutes off the clock. So really great opening possession for the Tribe to start the season.
You're right, Josh McCormick had plenty of leg last time to kick it into the end zone. Let's see if it happens again. Got a little bit of a breeze behind him on a hot and humid night. Guys, we'll talk about that in a minute as the kick is underway. This one is returnable about 2 yards deep, and they're going to try to run it out to the 10, 15. Oh, they did not get to the 15-yard line. Great defensive effort there.
John Carney, coming off that left side, making a big play there. Good form tackle, wrapped up. Probably a bad decision there by the VMI returner. Couldn't quite see who it was. A little bit of hesitation there. Caught that ball going backwards. It takes an extra second to get out of the end zone. And watching the right side of your screen right here, John Carney goes down, wraps up. Perfect form tackle.
Yeah, that's Dustin, number 4, Destin Moore was the man that maybe made an incorrect decision. But, Sean, talk about the heat and humidity out there this evening.
Yeah, I mean, the conditioning, preseason conditioning is certainly are going to be a key to this game to see which team is in better shape as you go over the course of 4 quarters of a football game.
Number 1, Colin Shannon is the starting quarterback for the Keydets, a 6'1" sophomore out of Sevierville, Tennessee, and he will hand the football off to a man that will probably call quite a bit tonight. I think that's the number 24, Hunter Rice. And Hunter, a 6 foot, 225-pound senior, is all everything for this team. He had a good year last year. There's a VMI offensive line running behind that offensive line, but Hunter Rice is the real deal.
Yeah, he really is. 6 foot, 225-pounder out of Daleville. Just like I said, 14 touchdowns last year, averaged 5.1. He actually was 3 for 3 passing the ball as well, Jay, and had a touchdown. So something the Tribe's going to have to keep their eye on.
Gain of a couple on that first play from scrimmage. Back to pass, the quarterback Shannon. Right side pass complete to the man in the slot, and he'll run it, work his way up for a first down, up across the 24, maybe to nose of the football to the 25. That was a 10-yard pass play to number 9, Julio De Salva, and it is a 1st and 10 for the Keydets. Tribe's defensive unit, if there's one little question mark, and it's not a big question mark, it's this side of the football, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of guys with some experience, but not a whole lot of experience coming in. Everybody has played just a bit, but not that guy except for Marcus Barnes. See there, number 7. He's the guy that they're leaning on this year, the senior out of Jeanette, Pennsylvania, is the leading tackler as far as the players returning from last season. Had an interception as well last year, so they're relying on him to do a lot for this team as he comes up in a safety position. Just misses that tackle, but Alex Washington able to come over and make that play, Jay. Excited to watch Alex Washington and Quinn Osborne. They ran around, were flying around all season last year, make plays on defense and on special teams, and they're going to be a huge part of this defense this year.
But that was a first down run by Ivan Thorpe, and the Keydets keep this drive alive. And Sean, we talk about some of the new guys. Tough to fill the shoes of guys like John Pius and Nate Lynn. They were all world.
It is very difficult to replace players of that caliber, but again, the Tribe and Mike London really feel like they've got some guys who are prepared to step up.
Here's the handoff that I believe it may be Rice again across the 40 and out to the 41-yard line. Yep, it was Hunter Rice. There's the VMI coach, Danny Rocco. He has a 5-6 record. They were 1-10 coming in. 2 years ago, he took over 4-4 in the SoCon. That is a real turnaround. Got some Coach of the Year accolades, actually, or at least was a candidate for the National Coach of the Year because of that job at VMI.
Well, Danny Rocco is certainly no stranger to the CAA or to Coach Mike London and the Tribe, having had coaching stints at the University of Delaware and the University of Richmond.
Yeah, hand off. Quarterback will hand the football off to the end around Ivan Thorpe. He's got some running room, guys, so they've held him pretty good inside, Mike, but a couple of times the Keydets have gotten the edge.
They have, and a great block there by the tight end number 88, Morgan McFall. Gets the edge, secures it, and allows the running back right here to take that ball around the edge. A little dip right there, gets right outside of Alex Washington, and good downfield blocking by the receivers right there. Leads to a big play for the Keydets.
This is a team that won their last game of the year versus Western Carolina when the Catamounts had come in 14th in the country. So they had a lot of excitement in this program. Winning that last game as the pass goes awry, it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Well, again, I think that's a testament to the job that Coach Danny Rocco has done there. And we talked about culture in terms of the Tribe culture, but I think Danny Rocco's done a really good job of changing some of the culture and impacting the culture at VMI. They had a tremendous amount of momentum wrapping up last year that they're hoping will carry over into this season.
2nd down and 10. Man in motion from the far side. Fake of a handoff to him. He'll hand off the football to the right side where Hunter Rice will just keep plugging along and carrying a couple of the defenders inside the 40. He, a little bit like Bronson Yoder-esque, gets a couple of more yards when you thought he might go down. It'll bring up 3rd down at about 4.
Yeah, he has a lot of the same traits as Bronson Yoder in terms of an ability to make the first guy miss, to keep his legs churning, get those extra yards, and they'll do a lot of misdirection things, spreading things out, but they really want to get the ball to Hunter Rice and let him work inside.
He's a first-team All-SoCon player from last year, and picked for that position is again this year, obviously. Fake of a handoff to him, throwing it over the middle, in and out of the hands of their wide receiver, Nathan Lahotsky, a sophomore out of Bridgeport, West Virginia. Tribe got a break there. It'll bring up 4th down and 5.
Throw maybe just a touch low, but that's when Nathan Lahotsky's got to haul in there for VMI. I think if he hits him right there in the chest, that may split that defense and go all the way, but nonetheless, a catch you got to make there for VMI.
I believe it's the first look at redshirt freshman Ty Gordon for the Tribe as defensive tackle as the Keydets are going for it on 4th down and 4 from the William & Mary 37-yard line.
Got to watch the hard count here for the Tribe defense.
And in motion, Shannon going back to pass in the pocket over the middle, complete hit, but a missed tackle, and another tackle is made before the 1st down marker. I think the Tribe held a missed tackle at the first. That was Egypt Nelson, a wide receiver, caught that ball in the middle, but he could not quite get to the 1st down marker, and the Tribe defense holds.
Heck of a job there. It's one of the things Mike talked about early on, the importance of making tackles. Not a lot of full tackling and full contact in the preseason. So we want to see the Tribe continue to make tackles.
All right, we have a timeout on the field. 5:46 remaining in the first quarter. Tribe's on top 7-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Norfolk Airport Authority Tribe football game tonight here at Zabel Stadium. Mike Leach, preseason honors abounds for William & Mary athletes heading into the year.
Yeah, Jay, tough to find a better 1-2 combination at running back in the CAA than you got with Bronson Yoder and Malachi Emo there at the running back position, and running behind Charles Grant and the center, the coach on the field, and Ryan McKenna. Trey McDonald at tight end position got him with there's a fullback, H-back, and Marcus Barnes, a lone member of the defense, and like we talked about earlier, he's going to be heavily relied on to be the leader of this defense.
Sean, VMI?
Of course, the Keydets are certainly a talented bunch as well, led by Hunter Rice. They're SoCon first team preseason all selection, but there are several other players there. They're a talented bunch, and Coach Danny Rocco has demonstrated he knows what to do with them.
Malachi Emo demonstrating now he knows what to do with a football as he gets across the 50-yard line, is dragged down from behind at the 40-yard line. A nifty 25-yard run, and a quick one indeed by Malachi Emo, showing the speed.
It's actually going to go as a pass, I think, Jay. Watch Hollis Mathis takes a little forward shovel right there, so it's going to be a pass reception for Malachi Emo and a pass completion for Hollis Mathis, but nonetheless 25 yards for the Tribe.
Yeah, 5'8", 180-pounder out of Winchester, Virginia, John Hanley High School. Malachi Emo, 1st and 10 for the Tribe at the 40-yard line. The Tribe moving from left to right here in the first quarter of play, leading 7-0. Darius Wilson, the quarterback, looking over the defense. Pitch back left side, that's Hollis Mathis. He's got some running room. He's at the 30. He's looking for gold. A flag is down. He's in the end zone, but a flag is down. Hold on to everything.
I think they're going to get number 3, JT Mayo, with a holding penalty here. JT was in great position. He shoved the guy to the ground. I don't know if it was a hold. We'll have to look at the replay, but it was going to be a touchdown. Didn't need the extra, showing his feats of strength there, throwing a guy to the ground, but he's going to get backed up here and take a big play away from the Tribe.
I wish you would look at that Tribe student body across the way. They have come out en masse tonight. If you look at get a good look at them next time we see that replay, you'll see them, because they are all standing up and screaming for Hollis Mathis. But again, it's going to be nullified because of the penalty.
Yeah, look at the top of the screen right here. JT Mayo coming off to the right. I think you're going to see a defender on the ground. JT just shoved number 3 there to the ground, and a little unnecessary. I don't know if it was, I think his hands were inside, but probably a little bit unnecessary. But we'll see if they can recover from the penalty on this drive.
1st down and 8. They'll hand the football off. That's Emo. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 25 and down to the 23-yard line. Again, Mr. Official, move those chains as the Tribe nears the Waypoint Restaurant red zone.
And here you see one of the luxuries of having 2 quarterbacks on the field pretty much at all times. That ball can be snapped in so many different ways, at so many different times with Hollis Mathis and Darius Wilson on the field.
1st and 10 for the green and gold. Around 4 minutes left in the first. That's Malachi Emo again. He stutter steps his way inside the 20 and down to around the 16-yard line, and into the red zone they go. The red zone action is brought to you by Waypoint Grill. For every game day moment, trust Waypoint Grill to deliver.
Jay really felt that one of the keys to the game today was going to be controlling things up front, and the Tribe is really off to a great start, controlling that line of scrimmage and moving that line of scrimmage down the field.
Yeah, good point. Grant, Lynch, McKenna, Francois, and Klingensmith. Fake of a handoff, back to pass, left-hander throwing it downfield, complete, good stutter move, but that is down to the 2-yard line. That's JT Mayo with that catch, trying to make amends for the penalty a moment ago, and Mike, he nearly got in.
He did. Great little stutter step hesitation move. I think he thought when he makes this guy miss here right about the 5-yard line, he was going to get in there, and had a chance right here. See, throwing a break, little flyby, does it again, and then throws Sean McElwain out of the way, almost gets in there down to the 2, but a good job of making up for the penalty by JT Mayo.
Good line, a flyby. He's going into the military.
He's not an Air Force guy, though. He's a Navy pilot, so he's Army all the way.
Handoff up the middle. Touchdown, no. Touchdown. William & Mary. Touchdown, green and gold. That was Malachi Emo getting into the end zone. The 5'8" senior out of Winchester, Virginia, with his 22nd touchdown of his career.
I think we're going to see a nice healthy rivalry here between Malachi Emo and Bronson Yoder, so you can finish this season with the most rushing touchdowns. But good job right there. You see Caden Lynch, a little kick out block, and Malachi Emo flies over the top, just reaches that ball just across that goal line before it hits the ground and gets in for the score.
Yeah, I didn't see the two arms go up, but Mike, you did, and indeed they'll give him 6. Andrew Piercy to hold. Eric Bernstein to kick. Senior out of East Meadow, New York, graduate of Monmouth. The snap is down, the kick is up, and
we got to stop here, Jay.
A stoppage.
We got a new long snapper here, Jay. Michael Cabin is long snapping here for the Tribe for at least for a field goal and extra points, and may have had some movement pre-snap. So they didn't get him. Apologies to the long snapper. I never want to talk bad about them. Cameron Fry with a little flinch right next to him.
You're quick to get on those long snappers, aren't you, Mike Leach?
I hold them to a high standard.
Yeah, 16 years, the National Football League, my broadcast partner. Predominantly that position, but you know, you were an All-American tight end, and here at William and Mary, also a punter. That's all we'll talk about Mike Leach's career tonight. Maybe. Piercy to hold. The kick is up a little further out, and the kick is good. 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter of play, and it's a 14-0 game. William and Mary on top.
Bronson Yoder, Jay, 7 carries for 37 yards in that touchdown. Malachi Emo, 3 carries, 20, and a touchdown on that last carry for him. Averaging 6.7. Yoder's averaging 5.3. Darius Wilson 2 for 3 for 35 yards. Hollis 1 for 1 for 27 on that little tap pass there we saw earlier to Malachi Emo. Malachi that 1 catch. Rayshawn Kendrick 1 for 20, and JT Mayo 1 catch for 15 yards for the Tribe offense.
Guys, every touchdown is a Tribe Town Bank touchdown. Town Bank serving others, enriching lives.
Again, we've done a tremendous amount of talk about Charles Grant and just what a player he is. But the Tribe on that drive having a lot of success running the football to the right side of the offensive line behind Ryan McKenna at center and Bart Francois and Greg Klingensmith. Demonstrating early on, we're not going to just be one-sided with our running game.
Josh McCormick will kick off.
Delay game for the Tribe. Coach London wondering why if they didn't blow the play ready for kick, how the game clock can be running that much if he didn't give his kicker enough time to kick that ball. But new kicker, Jay, new group, just going to take a little while to iron everything out.
First game, but they work a lot on this kind of stuff, the special teams in the preseason for sure. But a little bit too long there, and we'll kick it off now. This probably will give the deep man a chance to run this ball back. The kick is going to be a line drive effort. Nope, that goes into the end zone. Wow, nice kick for McCormick. And we have a timeout of the field. Exactly 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter of play. So far, so good as there's a flag down on the field. We'll talk about that when we return. The Tribe's on top, 14-0. Stay tuned. Earlier this evening, the Tribe Athletics Department celebrated the 23-24 William & Mary Athletics Senior Female Athlete of the Year, field hockey's Jaden Moon. A 24 graduate, Jaden helped lead the Tribe to the CAA championship and a victory in the opening round of the NCAA a year ago. She was selected to the All-CAA first team and the All-South Region second team. Jaden also earned the CAA Leadership and Sports Excellence Award, which honors one student athlete from each of the CAA's 21 sports who represents the highest standards of teamwork, integrity, leadership, and sportsmanship in his or her academic and athletic achievements. Congratulations, Jaden Moon. A good shot of her family there, and with Brian Mann, the Director of Athletics, and of course the ever-present Griff. Reevely, actually, the Griffin. Back to action here on 1st and 10. Hand off on the left side. Gets out to about the 15-yard line. Mike, while we were talking about Jaden, very appropriately, they were moving VMI back. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, we had a personal foul there on, it was Damon Artis for VMI, a personal foul, so backed him up half the distance to the goal after the touchback. Getting Vasey on that tackle there, Jay. Good job working down the line of scrimmage and running down the running back.
I gotta believe, Sean, your backup, if you're a first teamer, and maybe even the backup is your friend tonight, as hot as it is. We're gonna see a lot of interchangeable numbers out there.
I would certainly expect so.
There's a pass to the near side and the flat, complete across the 20 and out to about the 22-yard line. A little shy of the first down by my eyes. It'll bring up third down and short for the Keydets.
You talk about the weather and the heat and the humidity. Coach Leonard and his staff have been really good in the last couple of years about working players in, working in reserves, playing with more than 11 players, and that'll be really key on a night like this with the kind of humidity we have tonight.
One thing I noticed too, guys, this is usually a really rowdy, upbeat, hype bunch before a game. They really kept it cool and calm, just kind of went through the motions, just got prepared without the excessive jumping around and celebrating we normally see from the Tribe group. I don't know if that was a concerted effort by the staff to keep the guys from getting a little too worn out and to avoid cramping and dehydration.
Well, that's a first down run for the VMI Keydets, Hunter Rice. But Mike, you make a good point, and at times that overzealousness has hurt the Tribe in the past. And we'll see if this rather mature group, if you will, a lot of guys, 5th and 6th year guys on the team have kind of settled things down a little bit. Good point. We'll watch that as this game goes along and certainly the season progresses.
Well, we know particularly for the defensive unit, part of their focus is being disciplined, flying around, playing between the whistles, but making sure that you're playing disciplined football. 1st
and 10, Shannon back to pass, has got some time and throwing it to the left side, incomplete. That intended receiver pointed to another receiver. Ivan Thorpe was the intended receiver. I think he had a teammate that was more open.
Yeah, it did. It looked like Jalen Jones lockdown coverage. I think Colin Shannon got locked in on one receiver and we wasn't open. He panicked a bit, didn't know where to go with that ball. Had to kind of a throw. You hope maybe your guy can get, but really that's just a throwaway because it was lockdown coverage there by number 2, Jalen Jones.
Shannon started 3 games last year, including a game in a victory for VMI over East Tennessee State University. So he's got some experience. The team that was 5 and 6 last year and 4 and 4 in the SoCon. Hand off to Rice on the right, and he'll scamper across the 27, maybe out to the 29-yard line. Bring up a third down at about 5 or 6.
Rice has a great combination of speed and strength where he gets just enough burst to get around a corner and he's able to run through some arm tackles where you think he's going to get taken down. He's always able to get an extra 2, 3, or 4 yards.
4 wideouts of the game, 2 to the near side and 2 to the far. So they're really spreading them out right now for the Tribe defense. Hunter Rice beside the quarterback. He'll stay back as a blocker, and the throw will go downfield, incomplete. Really, really good defense by that Tribe unit, defensive unit. Locking them up all over the place, and the VMI Keydets will be forced to punt it away.
Yeah, Jonathan Hammond, the outside linebacker, Jay, playing that cat linebacker position coming off the edge here. We heard he was going to be one of those guys to try to replace John Pius with that pass rushing ability. He got a good hit there on the quarterback just as they threw that ball incomplete. So nice to see number 13, Jonathan Hammond, getting in the mix.
And Mike, we talked about the experience on that in that back end where, again, not a tremendous amount of playing time, but quality playing time that many of the players in that secondary received last year. Great coverage on the back end.
Ben Shrewsbury, not a whole lot of experience, but he gets a nice punt away for the VMI Keydets, and taking on the run for William and Mary is Drayshawn Kendrick, and Drayshawn will take it back to about the 36-yard line. So a 6-yard return for Drayshawn, and the Tribe offense will come on the field with the Tribe on top 14-0. We're at the end of the first quarter of play. The score, it is the Tribe 14 and the visiting VMI Keydets nothing.
There's smart, there's street smart, and then there's Bayport Smart. You deserve to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. And Bayport gives you the checking rewards to get there. Like get paid up to 3 days early, earn 3% cash back on debit card purchases, or 3% APY on average daily balances, plus free access to your credit score and report. Sound smart? We think so. Learn more at bayportcu.org. Smarter banking for life.
Every year, millions of us lose someone to cancer, and only memories remain. But at VCU Massey Cancer Center, we are unrelenting in finding new ways to understand, treat, and prevent cancer. To keep everyone we love in the picture. Imagine a future without cancer. We can.
William and Mary Athletics would like to thank the following partners for their continued support. VCU Health, the official healthcare partner of William and Mary Athletics. Pepsi, that's what I like. Aramark, the dining services partner of William and Mary. A new feature on the Tribe Sports Network this season is the Tribe Top 10, where we will track a team or individual stat that is making an impact in the league or the William & Mary record books. There we are right now with the great Bronson Yoder, just 91 yards away. Less than that now, guys. I don't have the mathematical book in front of me, but he was 91 yards away from catching Alvin Porch, who had a pretty nifty career, and you knew Alvin very well, Sean. As the play is underway, and Darius Wilson with the carry gets about 6 or 7 yards. But some fond memories of Alvin?
I have very fond memories of Alvin. Alvin, again, the Tribe's always had a tradition of fine running backs, and Alvin was no exception. Just not only a fine runner, but a fine individual, as many of the Tribe players are. And again, Bronson Yoder has him in his sights, and I'm pretty sure he won't stop there.
Yeah, we hit to the top of the chart goes Jonathan Grimes, a young man who will be put in the Hall of Fame in a couple of weeks at William and Mary, the place where both of my colleagues rest. And there's a throw downfield and a beauty, the Drayshawn Kendrick. Mike Leach, you and I talked a little bit in the offseason about Drayshawn, who's been hampered with some injuries in his career, but really expecting a banner year out of that senior this season.
Well, he's an explosive player, Jay. When you get a chance to get the ball in his hand, you can't wait to see what's going to happen. And like you said, he was hampered, had some issues last year, injury-wise, but it's great to see him healthy. I heard, we had a great camp, and hopefully Darius Wilson can continue getting him the ball.
It's 1st and 10. Back to pass. Nope, that's going to be a run. I don't think it was a called play, but again, Sean, as you alluded to, Darius, with his intelligence and his experience, knows when to fold him and knows when to hold him.
Yeah, he's playing with a great deal of composure and confidence right now. Again, reading and trusting his eyes, trusting his reads, and reacting to what the defense is giving him. Pretty sure Mario Acatelli is pretty pleased with his play thus far.
He was trying to get that ball to Darius Wilson in the flat, number 3 for VMI, jumped it, and he wisely pulled it down and made a positive play.
2nd and 4. That ball is batted down in the air for a precarious length of time, but incomplete. Will bring up 3rd down and 4. Going back to Drayshawn, I do want to point out he's from one of the iconic high schools in the state of Virginia that has produced many outstanding players over the years for William and Mary. E.C. Glass out of Lynchburg.
E.C. Glass, a really historic program there. Strong tradition of producing, really quality college level players there in the Lynchburg area.
3rd down and 4 to go for William and Mary, trying to keep this drive alive with at the very beginning of the second quarter. Over the middle, a little bit high. Hollis Mathis wished he had that ball back again. Might have been a little bit high, but I'm sure Hollis would tell you he should have had it.
I'm sure he will. The Keydets start to get back on their heels a little bit. They won't sit back on their heels. They'll bring some pressure. They brought it there, and as you said, I'm sure Hollis would love to have that throw back.
Fourth down and 4. Gentlemen, they're going to go for it here. Bronson Yoder is in the game. He's to the right of the quarterback, Darius Wilson. Man in motion is Hollis Mathis. He'll look to Hollis, now look over the middle. Got plenty of time. Not going to have to run to the left side. A flag goes down, probably a holding penalty. They find the tight end for the first down, but I think this one's going to be called back. That's Sean McElwain getting into the action for the first time this evening, and indeed a holding penalty is going to be called, so that'll nullify it and make it fourth down and fairly long, and we'll see what Coach London wants to do here.
Again, we see a good job of Darius being very patient in the pocket, continuing to keep his eyes downfield, and ultimately moving out of the pocket and finding an open receiver. Again, he's playing with a great deal of confidence and great deal of composure right now.
So we'll get our first look at Ruben Anderson, the new punter for the Tribe, a transfer and a graduate of Bucknell University, and 6'2" senior out of Lenexa, Kansas. He averaged 38 yards per punt at Bucknell. I think he started for 3 years up there. There's the snap, and the kick is away. That's a fair catch called for. It will bounce at the 10-yard line and take a VMI hop back to the 12, and that's where the Keydets will take it over at the 12:42 mark of the second quarter. We got a timeout on the field, and with the score still, William and Mary 14 and VMI nothing. We'll be back after this. This is a game brought to you by our good friends at Norfolk Airport Authority.
So the guy wearing number 8.
Tribe with a couple of touchdowns in the first quarter, leading 14-0. 12:42 remaining in the second quarter. Jay Colley, Sean Knight, and Mike Leach on hand on this Saturday night. Thursday night, rather. VCU Health in William & Mary is now conveniently located at 332 North Henry Street in Williamsburg. When you want expert care, we're here. To make an appointment, go to vcuhealth.org/Williamsburg. Yes, Thursday night football. What can be better? Season is underway, and we are excited. Colin Shannon, he wears number 1, starting quarterback for the Keydets. Actually, they start out snapping that ball in the direct snap. Wildcat right back to number 24, Hunter Rice, who goes over the right tackle for about 5 yards. It'll bring up second down and 5. We were told that they'd run some Wildcat with Hunter Rice tonight.
They absolutely will. He's the guy they want to have the football in his hands. We didn't really talk much about the first quarter stats, but one of the telling stats was that the Tribe held Hunter Rice to just 23 yards on 6 carries. for a 3.8-yard average. So again, the Tribe's doing a really good job in the running game. So I'm sure Coach London wants to see that continue.
Another new name for this Tribe defense, Jaden Boring getting in on a tackle there on that last play.
Oh, good catch there. The 6'4", good height and weight for a linebacker. We'll talk about that in a moment. But right now, running free and loose is number 4, Dustin Moore, a 5'11" sophomore from Cairo, Georgia, with a nice run across the 25 out to the 26-yard line. So that gets the Keydets out of harm's way, if you will. Gets them some room to work out to the 29-yard line, 1st and 10 for VMI.
Yeah, good height, good weight, but just not quite enough speed right there to run down the speedy ball carrier there for VMI. Did have Jaden Boring there, just a half a step short from making that tackle.
Out of Woodgrove High School in Lovettsville, Virginia, Jaden Boring. Hear a lot from him. He's a redshirt freshman, 1st and 10 of the 29-yard line. Keydets moving from left to right here in the second quarter. Back to pass Shannon. Over the middle, ball nearly intercepted. Boy, oh boy, he is not happy with himself right there, but been a nice defensive play. That was Elijah Rayner, the redshirt freshman out of Moseley, Virginia.
Great job keeping his eyes on the quarterback as he got into his drop. Just didn't quite come up with that throw.
Comes from a great athletic family. His dad, outstanding player.
Colin Shannon going to want that one back. He had a wheel route going down that side on, had a guy open, just had to put some more air on it, and may have been a big play for the Keydets.
Dad played in the NFL for years. 2nd down and 10. Colin Shannon with a man in motion will fake a, no, they'll give it to that man in motion, and he will get some good running room. And number 25 it was for VMI. Shallow. Actually not. Number 25 was Aslan Shipe, a running back.
It's tough when there's numbers on defense and offense that are the same, isn't it, Jay? Trying to find that right guy.
Well, he was not on my depth chart either. Oh, by the way. 3rd down and a yard. 2 receivers to the far side. See if the Tribe defense can buckle down here. Snap. Quarterback, that's Hunter Rice, will try to get the 1st down, and he will. Hard to keep him out of getting a yard. Out to the 44, he actually got 4 of them, and it's 1st and 10 VMI.
Similar to Bronson Yoder, really low center of gravity, strong legs. Just very difficult to bring down with that first defender.
David DeZinho is up front. He's one of the leaders of that defensive line that's been a mainstay. Boy, Coach Keenan Clark has done a great job of that front line since he has arrived on campus. There's a pass over the middle complete to VJ Johnson. Not much doing there. It's, the aforementioned Elijah Rayner was around the football.
Yeah, and the Tribe got a little help from the Keydet right guard, Bryce Burnett, on that, number 52.
Yeah, VJ Johnson ran into a wall there, didn't he, Sean?
Yes, he did.
2nd down, 7 to go. Stack receivers to the far side. Number 1, Colin Shannon, the quarterback, looks over the Tribe defense. Fake of the handoff. And he's going to go long, first time tonight, and it's one-on-one coverage, and that is an incomplete pass.
The flag came in late, Jay, from the back judge right there. Didn't see it. The deep lineman there, the field judge. One came from, maybe looks like one of the line judges there, threw a flag from way down near the line of scrimmage.
Jaden Joyner is going to be caught, I believe, the cornerback, for pass interference. He probably was shielding. Maybe, he didn't hit the player so much before the ball got there, but might have been face guarding him.
They're going to call. He did a good job at the end getting his head around, it looked like.
Defense, number 8, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Interested to see a replay of this one, if how much contact there is right at the point. Right here, you see he gets his head around at the last second, and that's probably a good call. Number 5 there for VMI. Egypt Nelson fights back for that ball, and just too much contact there to not throw the flag.
That's where sometimes the defender is actually hurt by an underthrown ball.
Yeah, that's you always taught as a receiver, you fight back for that ball. More often than that, you're going to get a call. So, good job there by Nelson fighting back.
Well, with that mark off, 15 yards, it'll go into William & Mary territory at the 39-yard line for VMI. Tribe on top, 14-0. Back to pass goes Colin Shannon. Over the middle again, he goes that way, and that ball's going to be incomplete. Double coverage for the Tribe.
Okay. And Coach Rocco on the sideline looking for another flag there. Looked like William & Mary may have got away with a little tug there.
It was a heck of a job by Marcus Barnes coming off, coming over to help. Had a little stop and go on the outside, and I think you're right, Mike. I think we caught a little break there because he certainly bid on that.
Marcus, of his academic honor roll designation, as do most of these men on the 2 deep for William & Mary, the CAA Commissioner's academic honor roll. Tribe replete with those guys. 2nd down and 10. In motion, handoff. Yep, they'll roll out to the right side. Now back to the left. He's running out of room and now gets decked back at the 43-yard line.
That was a broken play, Jay. I think quarterback wasn't sure where to go with that ball. I think somebody made a mistake there. He was kind of caught in no man's land. Walker's going one way where they should have went the other. And see right here, he realized the running back, Hunter Rice, didn't go the way he expected, or he went the wrong way, and now he's just looking for any help he can get. And fortunately, a white wave came over top of him and took him to the ground.
Yeah, I don't know who will get credit for it. Maybe Quinn Osborne, maybe Ty Gordon, but that's a quarterback sack. Sack to give back. Food Lion feeds. 3rd down and 15 to go for VMI. Shannon in the pocket, now being chased out of the pocket and tripped up and falls. So that's a loss of a couple.
Good job by Ty Gordon there. Setting that edge and not letting Shannon get outside.
Right, and Elijah Rayner mopped it up. I tell you what, those two young men, Ty Gordon and Elijah Rayner, had a really good series for William & Mary, and it'll get VMI off the field offensively. Forcing the punt, it's Ben Shrewsbury. And that ball is blocked beautifully. And it's loose and it's free. The ball knocked away again and now picked up by the Tribe. And he will scamper in for the score. Touchdown, William & Mary. Touchdown, green and gold. Old number 55, Clayton Dobler, will score his first touchdown of his collegiate career. I think I'm pretty safe to say that.
I think so, and John Carney does a great job coming through the line of scrimmage here, getting through free, and man, one of the easiest blocks you can see. Just beat the punter to the spot, and just see right here in the replay, just sits right through that A-gap, untouched, lays out, gives a big hit to the punter, but not before he gets a big piece of that ball. And good scoop and score here by the Tribe and getting in the end zone.
There's Dobler, like he's been there before, gets into the end zone and knows what to do, Mike. Here's the extra point for William & Mary. Bernstein trying to make it 3 for 3.
William & Mary acting like they're a man short here, looks like. Yeah,
yep,
we're missing someone on the right side of that line, so wisely take the timeout. I think maybe you just take a delay game and kick one further, but no harm there in burning the timeout. Somebody's going to probably catch an earful on the sideline and a little more in the meeting tomorrow, but you know, those sudden changes, they got to be ready to go. Sometimes a guy can't find his helmet quick enough.
Mike, I was just going to comment about how Mike London's probably pretty happy. He places so much emphasis on all 3 phases of the game with special teams. You get the block punt, but then you turn around on the PAT and you get a penalty and don't have all your people out there. So it's like we give it, then we take it away there.
Yeah, a lot of times it's some of the reserve offensive linemen go out there for that field goal team, and you know, in the midst of a celebration, sometimes a young guy who's supposed to be out there forgets what he's going to do, and next thing you know, he's, like I said, catching an earful.
Well, guys, is the first game a legitimate excuse, if you will, for this kind? And by the way, the battery is new for William & Mary with a long snapper, not the holder necessarily, but certainly the kicker. So a lot of new faces on this special team.
There is, and you got a right-footed kicker, you got a left-footed kicker that's out there as well. You got guys from both sides, so it makes it tougher, but so far, so good. We'll see what happens here. It could be the announcer's jinx, but you know, so far the battery's looking pretty good.
Well, that would be your announcer, not me. It's not on me. Eric Bernstein, number 47, with Andrew Piercy to hold. Snap a little high. The placement is down nicely, and the kick is up and good. 7:25 remaining in the second quarter of play. The score is now the Tribe 21 and the VMI Keydets nothing.
See the scoop and score again right here. Not the easiest thing. You see the first Tribe player there misses that one, but Clayton Dobler benefits from the first little muff there, and like you said, gets in for his first touchdown, and pandemonium ensues.
Gentlemen, we had our first Tribe Talk this past Tuesday. It was an odd day to have it because from now on it's going to be on Thursdays. But with that said, it's at Old Paul's, which is on Scotland Street, an iconic location. We'll have that every Thursday at 6:30 before home games this year. So mark your calendars every Thursday before home games at Tribe Talk. Obviously, Coach Lennon will be coming by, as well as other coaches. Alex Haycock, the outstanding director of track and field at William & Mary and cross country, just beaming. Rick Platt, a class of 72, gifting $9 million to that women's and men's program of track and field. Thanks to Mr. Platt for his graciousness, and I tell you what, Alex Haycock, with the kind of coaching and coaching staff that he can do, that is quite a commitment for that program.
Every little bit helps, but some bits help more than others, Jay. And that's such a big bit to get, and it's going to be transformational for that program as the kickoff sails through the end zone, touchback. And we've got a flag here. Looks like maybe unnecessary roughness by William & Mary, but we'll see what we have. But yeah, it's anytime you have a couple commas in a gift, Jay, I think you can do a lot with it.
Well, one of the misconceptions I think that people still hold on to is that somehow there's state-supported funds supporting these programs, and that's just not the case. And so our programs really do depend on the philanthropy and the goodness of our alums and supporters and partners. And so we really appreciate all of our donors and supporters of our athletic department.
Well said, Sean. Mike, what was the penalty?
We got a illegal block below the waist by VMI, so we're going to back them up again. Second consecutive kickoff, they've been penalized.
Mark Perryman is one of our halftime show guests, the CEO of the Norfolk Airport Authority, tonight's sponsor, and Brian Earl, the new basketball coach for the men, will be our guest as well. Looking forward to catching up with Coach Earl, who has already seen his team play a little bit, for pretty going hot and heavy in July. And then I think all the guys obviously are back in school now, and I think mid-September, maybe later September, back on the court, but expecting really some exciting things from Coach Earl and his team. And we'll talk to Coach Earl at halftime.
Fifth penalty, two penalties for 25 yards on VMI, 5 for 45 for the Tribe. So William & Mary.
It's a touchback. It'll be first and 10 at the 25.
Interesting. Penalty is declined for the Tribe, and so it'll be first and 10 at the 25.
Must not be half the distance. Must be an automatic re-kick, I would assume. I don't know.
Okay.
There must be the ruling I'm not familiar with. New rule coming up, though, Jay, right, in college football, 2-minute warnings.
Yes.
This year, it's an extra stoppage. I think it'll make the games a little more exciting. It's always tough at the end of those college games. You don't have that extra stoppage you're used to seeing in the pro game. I think it's going to make some of these finishes a little more exciting down the stretch.
Plus another place to sell a commercial. You don't think they thought about that on the Power 5 level, do you, Mike?
It can't be about money.
First and 10 at the 25.
Desmond Cook checking in for the Tribe. Nope, now he turns around and runs out of there as Quinn Osborne is ready to get back in that game.
Hunter Rice is the tailback. Quarterback under center is Colin Shannon. The center is Cole Holtz. Two receivers to the near side, one of those in motion for VMI. And the quarterback will hand off to Hunter Rice, who will get 5, 6, 7, 8 yards out to the 34-yard line. Guys, they've been pretty successful with Hunter Rice right up the middle. Are you surprised that sometimes they've tried to go, spread them out, if you will, so far this evening?
Well, not surprised that I'm trying to spread it out and trying to gash with Hunter Rice inside. A little surprised by how much success they've actually had getting out on the perimeter, by faking him inside and getting the ball to their receivers on reverses and the like.
Hunter Rice last year got into the end zone, the 4th most frequent of any player on FCS football, and he has the ball again. This time he'll get a first down out to the 39-yard line. About a 4-yard pickup for Rice.
Great aspect of how Rice runs, Jay. He doesn't break down to make his cuts. He continues to move forward, make subtle little moves, stays close to his offensive lineman as he makes those cuts. He doesn't give the defense time to rally to him. Also, Luke Shallow makes some good runs there as he carried on that play. From up to here, Jay, my eyes are getting bad as I'm getting older. 21 and 24 look alike.
1st and 10. Yeah, Shallow gets his first couple of carries here. The 5'10" sophomore out of Ashburn. And the quarterback will hand the football off, and that's caught in the backfield. That's Ivan Thorpe. He's tried that end around several times tonight. That one is foiled.
That time Mike Malone setting that edge there and not letting him get outside. So it's good to see the Tribe adjusting to that. Keydets have had a lot of success on similar plays.
Confusion for the Tribe, trying to get the right personnel on the field.
2nd and long for the VMI Keydets. Man in motion. They'll flood the left side of the field, the short side, and they'll set up a screenplay back to the right side. They got some open field to run inside the 50-yard line and still running to the 40, all the way down to the 35-yard line. So everything looked like it was going left, and sure enough, it came back right to Hunter Rice, who had some great maneuverability.
Great setup there. You've run the ball enough. Eventually, you're going to set these up, and then obviously little screen play right here. You see, unfortunately, Quinn Osborne loses his footing right there. And good tackle right here as you're getting blocked. Good job coming off. Couldn't quite see who that is. I think was that number 4 there right there. Sasha Garcia came off the blocker and makes a play. So really well executed and well designed play by the Cadets.
Yeah, Garcia might have made a touchdown saving tackle right there. 1st and 10 of the 35-yard line. Best drive of the night by VMI thus far. Quarterback, is the shotgun out of the Wildcat rather, and that's Hunter Rice inside the 30 and down to around the 24-yard line, maybe the 23. Nifty 7-yard run for Hunter Rice, back in the ball game now. First team all SoCon out of Daleville. Good size for that for that running back at 6 foot, 225-pound senior.
And he's such a patient runner, whether he's taking the hand off or he's taking it out of the Wildcat. You just see him allowing his blocks to happen in front of him and then making that cut. And as Mike said, just continuing to move forward with every movement.
Colin Shannon with a man running in front of him. Hands the football to Shallow this time, and he will be hemmed up and dropped. Coming up there, nice play was by Alex Washington, the dog linebacker, one of the captains for this team out of Mineral, Virginia. 3rd down and short. Tribe leading 21-0. 2 first quarter offensive touchdowns and a block punt scoop and score touchdown here in the 2nd quarter.
I think Coach Rocco I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe take a deep shot here, a little fake play action and take a shot on here. If it's 4-down territory, maybe you catch William Mary thinking a run and take a deep shot, although formation doesn't look like it.
Nope. He'll hand off to Hunter Rice. He'll easily get that first down to the 20-yard line and then some, down to the 18, maybe the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 for VMI. That left side of the line offensively, Poindexter and Inge and Holtz did a good job moving out the Tribe defense.
And what do I know? That's why Coach Rocco gets paid to coach, and I'm up here.
1st and 10. Hand off again. This time Hunter Rice again. This time going left again. And another good run. Sean Knight down to a 7-yard pickup. 2nd down and 3.
Solid run, but look at the Tribe players. A lot of Tribe players with their hands on the hips right now. They've been out on this field a long time on this drive.
On this very hot night in
humidity could be playing a role in this drive.
Again, Hunter Rice. This time reverses his field, and he's going to score, I believe, and he does. Touchdown VMI. Hunter Rice reversing his field. It looked like it was going left. He didn't see anything. He saw goal to his right, and he got there.
That's 3 plays in a row, Jay, with that full house backfield, getting big push up front and going left, going right here against Tribe. And like you said, a great cut back there by Hunter Rice. Starts left, cuts back to his right, and easily gets into the end zone.
Caden Beck the veteran place kicker for the VMI Keydets, trying to cut this deficit to 14. The kick is up, and it is perfect. 2:16 remaining in the first half, and VMI's got some life, guys. Not that it's turn the game around immediately, but you know that late score in the second quarter is going to give them some buoyancy at halftime.
Yeah, you always like to have some momentum, whether you're up in the game or whether you're behind. Have some momentum going in at the half. There are 2 minutes left in this half, an opportunity for the Tribe to take back some of that momentum. But that was a very impressive drive by the Keydets. One of the things you know about a Virginia Military Institute team is they're not going to quit. They're not going to roll over. They're very resilient. They'll continue to fight for 4 quarters. Again, I think that drive is going to really give Coach Danny Rocco as well as his Keydet team some energy and a boost as we go through the rest of this half.
And even more to the point, Sean, they did that after a deflating type play against you, a block punt and a scoop and score. Kudos to VMI.
Kudos indeed. Just a great answer, a great response to that turn of events. So we'll see what the Tribe can do here.
We will see the 2-minute offensive work for Tribe. Mario Acatelli, his first shot as offensive coordinator in his outstanding coaching career. He's also the offensive line coach at William & Mary. And here's the kick. It'll be taken at the 11-yard line, out to the 20. A little bit of a hesitation to the 25. And he will be brought down at the 28-yard line, 27-yard line. That's where William & Mary will pick it up. I believe that might have been Damian Harris. We were told that he's now number 82, and he came into the game as number 4, but for some reason he changed uniforms, fellas. So 82 is Damian. He's going to stick in the ball game, that transfer graduate from Bucknell University. Two receivers to the near side. Darius Wilson gets the snap, and he will hand the football off. Coming back this way is Malachi Emo, and he'll get maybe a yard out to the 29. Going to bring up second down and 9, and we are at the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning, new break in college football. Give us a chance to take a break. Minute 58 remaining in the first half.
Minute 58 warning, I guess. I think they'd get back to that 2 minutes, I would think.
And we will take a time. We'll take that break. Tribe on top, 21-7.
A1 American keeps your plumbing perfect at your home and business. Fix those leaky toilets and faucets, dripping shower heads, water heaters, and slow drains now. Book before 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and get $75 off. Hurry, this offer ends September 30th. Homeowners and businesses, don't delay. Schedule your A1 American HVAC fall maintenance today, especially if you've had cooling problems this summer. Right now, get $650 off any replacement AC and heating system. Hurry, this offer ends September 30th.
Hey you doom scrolling. You're gonna want to see this. It's Oopole, the app that rewards you for your time.
This is Jonathan Hammond. You're watching William & Mary Football on Tribe Sports Network.
Calling all Tribe fans, invest in the William & Mary Athletic Foundation to enhance the future of our football program. The QR code on the screen will take you to their donation page where your gift will directly impact our football team. Your support moves us closer to our $1 million goal and provides critical resources for our student athletes. Your generosity is invaluable, as Sean Knight spoke so eloquently about a moment ago. Thank you for making a difference. As we mentioned, Mark Perriman, the CEO of The airport, Norfolk Airport Authority, a fine sponsor for the night's game, will be one of our halftime show guests, and Brian Earl. Can't wait to catch up with Coach Earl, the new men's basketball coach at William & Mary. The preseason schedule is out. The conference schedule, well, you know the makeup of it, but not exactly the dates. But no matter when we play, it's going to be exciting at Kaplan Arena this year, and we'll look forward to catching up with Coach Earl momentarily. 2 minutes to go. First half action. William & Mary on top 21-7. Quarterback will fake a handoff, back to pass he goes. He's got a man wide open at the 50-yard line, makes the catch to the 45. Cuts back upfield to the 40. He's got some running room at the 30-yard line and is finally down at the 35-yard line. That's Hollis Mathis, the athlete on the team. That's what's on the scorecard.
Absolutely great play design. They had receivers on the outside crossing, clearing out that area for Hollis coming across the field. Had to have some protection. Great job by that offensive line up front.
They're in a hurry. They're going to go into the end zone this time with a floater, and it's just overthrown to the wide out down the right side of the football field, incomplete. A little quick that time, and that was Damian Harris. We got a little bit of Rob Turner, the sports information director, gave us the inside scoop.
A little blood on his jersey. Had to get rid of number 4 for the time being. They're getting it cleaned up, dry cleaned, pressed, ironed, and I think he'll be back in number 4 for the second half.
Try breaking the huddle on second down and 10. 2 wide outs to the near side of the football field. Actually, now 3. And in motion is number 3, JT Mayo, and the handoff will go. Nope, quarterback going to keep it. Up the middle he goes, and he's got 10 yards and fumble the football inside the 15, and who got it?
Looks like the Tribe got it back, Jay. And
fortunate.
Yeah, well-designed play. Good job on the read option, pulling that ball out and keeping himself. Just got to be, obviously, have that better protection of that ball at the point of contact. But fortunate bounce for the Tribe. Looked like it was easily going to VMI, and the ball squirts away and comes right back. I think maybe back to Darius Wilson.
Recovered by the Tribe.
Yeah, indeed, right back to Darius.
Guys, the red zone action brought to you by Waypoint Grill. For every game day moment, trust Waypoint Grill to deliver. Tribe in the red zone to the 13-yard line, marching right to left, waning moments of the second quarter. Handoff up the middle it goes. That is Bronson Yoder inside the 5 and down to the 4-yard line, just shy of a first and goal opportunity, but it's second down and about a yard, under a minute to play.
Tribe going hurry up, plenty of time on the clock though, Jay. 50 seconds down here inside the 5. They got plenty of time to work.
Bronson Yoder, the lone tailback, and he'll get the football, taking a read, and he will try to move forward, and he is not going to get certainly near the end zone. I don't know about a first down either. He needed about a yard.
Clock continue to run. Coach Leonard not taking a timeout.
Had to use one on an extra point, so you got 2 more. 28 seconds remaining.
Coach can take a timeout, run a play here on. Can get a first down though, Jay, without getting a first down. I might have taken that timeout a little sooner in case you get that first down, but don't get in the end zone. Leave yourself a little more time.
Guys, it'll be interesting to see. We'll talk to Coach London, if not after the game this week, and he was actually looking at the clock as if he had a game plan in mind to wait till it got to 20 seconds. We'll find out what was in the mind of Coach London on that, but still plenty of time for a couple more plays, certainly. It's 3rd and 1. What's priority here? I'll ask the obvious question: get into the end zone or get the first down? Anybody, Mike?
I mean, either or. I think at this point, and obviously you always want to get a touchdown. But if you get the first down, if you get tackled inbounds, you can take that final timeout. I think there'd be 1 left,
right.
and then you got options there to throw the ball with probably 15, 12 seconds left.
That was so politically correct of Mike. You're talking to 2 offensive guys, man. We're trying to put that ball in the end zone.
All right, here we go.
But to his point, 20 seconds leaves you a couple of shots at it. Even if you don't get the first down here, you're in 2-down territory here. You left yourself enough time for 2 or 3 plays, and keep that time out in your pocket in case you need to get the team out.
You jerk the momentum back away from VMI, who just got the momentum out of that touchdown drive a moment ago. Quarterback underneath the center. And he will hand the football off to the right side. Hollis Mathis digging for the end zone, diving for the end zone. He got the end zone. Touchdown, William and Mary. Touchdown, green and gold. Hollis Mathis on an end around, if you will, an athlete around, found the pylon.
And a great scheme, getting your two tight ends, Trey McDonald and Sean McElwain, outside blocking it on the edge. You get the speeds that are coming around with the football, and you got the big bodies on the outside. You'll see right here on the left side of the screen, blocking outside there, pushing the pile, and Hollis gets just enough of an edge there and uses his speed to dive across the pylon.
19th career touchdown for Hollis Mathis, his 10th rushing. 14 seconds to play in the first half. Bernstein with the extra point. It's up, and it is good. Good start for that newcomer on this team, a graduate from Monmouth. And it's a 28-7 affair. William and Mary on top with 14 seconds remaining. So that momentum we were talking about VMI had a moment ago, Mike, has disappeared. It's evaporated.
Yeah, great job responding by the Tribe offense. And right there, Jay, they having the 2-minute warning helped the Tribe right there, saved them some time there. May not have enough time to score, may have had to settle for a field goal. Instead, William and Mary used the 2-minute warning to their advantage for the first time in college football, and it pays off.
Got cheerleaders running across the field. A near capacity crowd. We haven't gotten the attendance yet, but from the looks across the field, guys, you and I we've all been doing this many years. We don't know what's on our side below us, but it's doubled. It's over 10,000 tonight for sure. I mean, a great crowd by the student body. That's about 3,000 over there. Josh McCormick will kick off from right to left for the first time tonight, and actually the second time, and that will go out of the end zone. That young man's got quite a leg. Do you like the new NFL kickoff rules, Mike? Yeah.
I do. I think it's exciting. That it's got boring. Just was kickoff. Touchback. Now it's at least it gives a little bit of the defense thinks maybe they can pin a guy deep. You land that ball around the 5 with your guys being already down there, and it gives a little more juice to the return game. I think it's going to be a good rule change.
So Hollis Mathis has scored. Malachi Emo has scored, and Bronson Yoder has scored. That's a big three, isn't it? And oh, by the way, Clayton Dobler has scored. Did you have that in your scorecard? A kneel down, and we are going to go to halftime. Brian Earl will join us when we return at Zabel Stadium here on this Thursday evening. Come back in a moment. Tribe on top, 28-7. Stay with us.
All buckled up, let's go.
Tuition Monster, how are you here already? She's only 2 days old.
And that means there's only 6,720 days till she's off to college. But it is a bit snug back here, so next time I'll be calling shotgun. Vroom, vroom!
Tame the tuition monster with the Virginia 529 savings account. Learn how at virginia529.com.
There's smart, there's street smart, and then there's Bayport Smart. You deserve to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. And Bayport gives you the checking rewards to get there. Like get paid up to 3 days early, earn 3% cash back on debit card purchases, or 3% APY on average daily balances, plus free access to your credit score and report. Sound smart? We think so. Learn more at bayportcu.org. Smarter banking for life.
There's a new home for care in Richmond. A hospital for kids unlike any other. Because in your child's life, you'll never know when you'll need help. You'll never know who you'll need. You'll never know what is possible. But you'll always know where it will happen. The new Children's Tower, unlike any other.
is my great pleasure to introduce to you our new head coach, Brian Earl.
Well, there was the dramatic introduction of Brian Earl, the new head basketball coach at William & Mary, and he joins us live as the Tribe at halftime here of Game 1 of the 2024 football season on top 28-7. And Coach Earl, you were named the 32nd head coach, as my screen indicates, on March the 23rd, 2024. You led Cornell to an NIT bid last year, nearly upsetting Ohio State. Intrigued as to what what brought you to Williamsburg and to William & Mary?
Well, it was a great visit. It happened very quickly. We had an NIT game, and then we were myself and my wife were out here pretty quickly after that. But as soon as I came, I have a background in the Ivy League. I was at Princeton as a player and as assistant coach, and then on to Cornell. And it reminded me a lot of the best things about being in the Ivy League I saw here at William & Mary, and then a real commitment from Brian Mann and his administration to athletics and doing it the right way. And so a lot of those pieces fit. It happened quickly, but we're excited about it.
Well, and this is off script, Coach, but you got to be excited about that dirt moving right now at Kaplan Arena into the new practice facility and all that encompasses for both the men and women's side of athletics here at William.
Right, yeah. I mean, a lot of times in this world you hear that ploy, we're building something out back, and they are actually moving earth. I spend about half an hour every day just watching guys work out there, and it makes me happy I'm in an air-conditioned office and not laying the concrete.
Coach, your team makes no bones about, or your style of play makes no bones about wanting to score points, shoot three-pointers, get the ball out in a hurry. Tell us about your style of play.
Well, we've played fast the last few years at Cornell. We like to make shots, but we're not just trying to take them. But it's a way where we're trying to sort of dictate the pace that the game's going to be played at. And so we've had some success and almost pulled off an upset at Ohio State and did pretty well in a very good league in the Ivy League over the last couple years. And really, I think there's a certain excitement to the way that we play. For most everybody else, for me, it's a lot of heartburn, but I'll take it if we can get a win.
Is there such a thing as a bad shot?
There was when I was growing up, but I try not to my scowl will say it, but I try not to tell them too often. They'll know, but it comes with it. You can't have one toe in and say that was a good one, that was a bad one. We know we're playing fast. If you can make a shot, you can take it, and hopefully enough go in.
Coach, a lot of new players. I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but my memory says maybe 8 new players, 7 returns. It's close to that. Have you memorized all your team's players' names yet?
Yes, but it's like my children sometimes. I call them by the wrong name. I hope they understand. I still don't have
3.
3. Yeah, they look the same. So they don't take offense. But we have a lot of new players. But we were here in the summer getting to know each other. They know each other. I think it's really important in this day and age for guys to hang out together as a team, and they've done that. And so I'm getting used to being together, but in a lot of ways for the same reasons I came here. That there are a lot of these student athletes who are highly successful on the court, in the classroom, and so there's a familiar vibe to it. We're really, I think William & Mary should be very proud of the people that they are graduating, and the student athletes in particular really represent this university in the best way. And so I think we did a pretty good job of continuing that in the basketball program.
Coach, you mentioned your 3 kids. Let's look at your family. How are they adapting to Williamsburg? And there's your beautiful wife and those 3 well-behaved boys.
Right. That is the last you'll see of that. And I have one out there in the stands somewhere, and I hope my guys are watching him because I left him down there and he wouldn't come. So, he's out there, but they're really enjoying it. And again, that'll be the last moment of them sitting still in a tie.
Well, we'll frame it for you, Coach. Thanks a lot for being our guest.
Thanks very much.
Brian Earl, the new basketball coach at William & Mary, will come back with more after this timeout. Welcome back at halftime. The Tribe on top 28-7. Jay Colley with you and a special guest, Mark Perryman, the president and CEO of the Norfolk Airport Authority, a great sponsor for the Tribe, not only tonight, for overall. Mark, we were talking between the break on the whys and wherefores. I see your shirt, ORF. That's what I know the Norfolk Airport as when I fly out of it. We're flying out of ORF. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the Norfolk Airport Authority and you're expanding your zone, if you will.
We're expanding our zone. The airport's really in a period of transformation right now. The facilities were dated when I got here about 2 years ago, and part of the charter that the board has given me was expand our reach, not only new flights, but also within our community, because we really are a community asset. We're probably one of the most regional assets that people can tangibly touch and feel and understand. And so we're expanding our reach and our sponsorships with the universities. We have 4 great universities around the region, and we're just reaching out, and we want to be part of all of those.
I know we fly out of there quite a bit in the CAA to our games here and abroad that, when we fly. And so what makes Norfolk, and what are you trying to do differently that'll make the Norfolk Airport the place to go?
Well, we've been focusing on our nonstop destinations. For an airport our size, we actually punch above our weight. We have currently 46, I think is our current count of nonstop destinations. There's probably 30 airports above us that we actually have more nonstops. So it's not so much the number of passengers, it's the variety and the locations that we can get our passengers to, and also bring people into the region. Yeah, and that's very, very important, and people want nonstops.
Absolutely, as the new tunnel gets built, and it will, it'll be like a hop, skip, and a jump to Norfolk Airport.
Yeah, absolutely, and we serve not only the south side, but we are the airport for the peninsula in terms of where getting to where you want to go, and we reach all the way down to the Outer Banks. People don't realize that Norfolk is really the gateway, the air gateway to the Outer Banks, and people are now from all over the country, all over the world, flying into Norfolk to drive down to the Outer Banks, to get out to the Virginia beaches, to get up here to Colonial Williamsburg in the Triangle, and we really want to serve that.
Well, you're proving that tonight by sponsoring this football game here at William & Mary, and we really appreciate your time and effort, and thanks to all the folks at the Norfolk Airport Authority for making it happen.
You bet. Glad to be part of it.
Mark Perryman, our halftime show guest. William & Mary on top, 28-7. We'll be back with more of our halftime after this timeout.
A1 American keeps your plumbing perfect at your home and business. Fix those leaky toilets and faucets, dripping shower heads, water heaters, and slow drains now. Book before 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and get $75 off. Hurry, this offer ends September 30th. Homeowners and businesses, don't delay. Schedule your A1 American HVAC fall maintenance today, especially if you've had cooling problems this summer. Right now, get $650 off any replacement AC and heating system. Hurry, this offer ends September 30th.
When your child is fighting cancer,
You gonna walk out here on your own? Okay.
Yes. You never know what is possible. But you will always know where. Introducing the new Children's Tower, a hospital unlike any other, designed for the unique needs of kids and their families. The new Children's Tower, unlike any other.
Here at William & Mary, I don't have to make any sacrifices in my education. We are a liberal arts institution and a research university. We have a small, tight-knit campus, but also there's always a new friend to meet. Campus is beautiful, and I call it home, but there are also amazing study abroad opportunities. William & Mary encompasses everything and anything you could be interested in. There is so much room for exploration.
Oh, okay. Halftime stats coming on your screen, fellas, and as you would have predicted, William and Mary kind of dominating things on the scoreboard. Certainly 28-7. What sticks out in a positive sense to you, Mike?
Everything's pretty positive there for William Mary and for VMI. Obviously, they put that one really good sustained drive together, got in there in the end zone, and so they have something to hang their hat on, something to build off of. And we've been here before. William Mary's had some big leads against some teams that they should beat pretty handily second half, and we've seen not all the time, but there's been a couple games where William Mary's kind of take their foot off the gas and allowed a team to climb back in there. So going to be interesting to see how Coach London rallies the troops, makes them come out with some intensity here in the second half, and not let VMI try to creep back into this one.
Like to see the penalties go down a little bit, Sean. 5 penalties, 45 yards.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure that was a point of emphasis at halftime. Again, playing disciplined football. I think they're playing a pretty solid game thus far. I think the stats at the half kind of belie the real nature of the game. I think the Tribe's been more in control of the game than the stats would suggest. I think that's pretty indicative of the good field position that they've had on offense. I think they've really had an opportunity to start some key dat offensive drives deep in the key dat end, and so looking forward to seeing how they come out in the second half. And I remember a year ago we became notorious for slow starts in the third quarter, and so I'm sure there was probably some conversation about that and getting off to a good start to start the second half.
Well, let's roll the tape for the highlights here as the Tribe is on top 28-7. Early on, it was a good running game, good blocking, and some of Bronson Yoder.
Yeah, capped off a real drive there that was all Bronson Yoder there. That first possession, he gets into the end zone.
Spreading the wealth with Malachi Emo getting into the end zone. Again, that stable of running backs, spreading that wealth and making sure there's enough footballs to go around.
Gotta love when a busted play by the offense when your defensive guy pin your ear back and it's a race to meet at the quarterback. Right here, Mike Malone, good play there, maintains the edge integrity there, able to get quarterback for VMI down on the ground, and see a good cutback here. Good job using the Tribe's aggressiveness against them. The Tribe has some good speed and they're aggressive, and sometimes that cutback will get you. You don't have that integrity to maintain the edge on the backside, and great there job running the ball, cutting it back there for Hunter Rice.
Yep, and here's the spark of the game so far in the first half, the block punt, and then it's picked up by the William & Mary specialty player Clayton Dobler, and Dobler gets in to the end zone for the game. Today's spark of the game brought to you by Steve Sparkman Financial Services. Thanks, Steve, for all you do for William & Mary. Tribe's on top 28-7. We'll be back with more, including the second half kickoff after this timeout and after these messages. Well, you've been listening and looking at, we appreciate, the William Mary Bookstore halftime show. We'll be back with the second half in about 1 minute, guys. That's how much time that both these teams have to loosen up. Good crowd on hand. We just saw the student body. It was jam-packed. They going out right now and maybe getting some cold drinks on a very, very hot night. And here's some scores from around the league and elsewhere. Bryant and Delaware. Delaware in their final year in the CAA. We haven't talked a whole lot about that, guys, but Delaware leading Bryant 34-10 at halftime. And how about North Carolina A&T hanging tough versus Wake Forest at halftime?
Yeah, you can see. Just to see how that one pans out. See if Wake Forest can wake up in that second half, try to pull away from A&T. But they good effort there from North Carolina A&T in this first half.
Former Tribe coach down there leading the charge for A&T.
Right, right. So first 5 minutes of the second half, always important. And the Tribe will kick off to VMI, so the Tribe defense will be able to show their muscle here in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's important that they set the tone again, being disciplined. They got hurt a little bit early in the first half with allowing the football to get outside on the perimeter. So be interesting to see what kind of adjustments they made. I'm sure the break at halftime was probably needed. That last drive by the Keydets was a long drive, and you could kind of see some of the Tribe defenders look a little bit winded.
A lot of penalties on kickoffs, Jay. Let's see if we can get a clean one here finally.
We've just been handed the attendance, 8,096. About 8,100 fans on, maybe the heat might have kept them away, but it looked like a lot bigger crowd than that to begin this ball game. Certainly a great crowd from the student body. The second half is underway. Good stutter step by Thorpe at the 20-yard line. He's got some running room. He'll get to the midfield stripe before he is knocked out of bounds. Destin Moore with a great run on the opening kick, and that's not exactly the way Coach London drew it up.
No, great return there. Great patience by the returner. This is probably the best starting field position the Keydets have had all night.
And that last drive they had on offense, they had begun to figure out the Tribe defense a little bit, kept them off balance. It's a very important first few plays of the second half to see how this game is going to go. Tribe leading 28-7 here, just now starting the third quarter. Hunter Rice from the Wildcat will step forward, and he'll get to 4 or 5 yards inside the 45, down to around the 43-yard line. That time they had Rice and Shallow in the backfield together, and the quarterback was spread out to the right.
Yeah, you see that patience again, Jay. Rice gets a few yards, gets behind his offensive line, and has a lot of patience. Doesn't run just head down right into the back of his offensive lineman. He takes some time, waits for a play to develop, bounces it outside to his left, little jump cut, and then bursts forward for additional 4 or 5 yards.
And Jay, you talked about moving Shannon out of there and leaving Shallow and Rice in that backfield gives them an extra lead blocker out of that Wildcat look.
Shannon's back at the quarterback position, handing off to Rice, however, and he'll cut it back and get about 2, maybe 3, down to the 42-yard line. Third down and 3 to go for VMI.
Heavy dose of run here to start the second half. We're interested to see if VMI goes a little play action pass here, tries to take a shot. Yeah, Wildcat.
We have not heard from their tight end, Max Cullen, yet. He's set to the left. Quarterback will keep that football. The Wildcat, Hunter Rice, and he'll be hemmed up and dropped. Really good defensive effort there.
Going to be close. Got close. Now they're waving forward. Looked like he was just short of the line of gain. Now they're, he was saying move the chains. Now it looks like linesman might be signaling 4th down. Yeah, fourth and about a half a yard. Maybe a full yard.
And VMI's going to go for it, guys.
Skent Basie and Davin Zinho, and they're anchoring the internal trenches for the Tribe defense. Mike Malone down there in a 3 technique as well.
Hand off left side, that is being strung out. Hunter Rice, and I think the Tribe got him before he got to the first down. The Tribe defense is held beautifully. They stopped Hunter Rice. And how about Quinn Osborne, the 6'2 senior out of Mitchellville, Maryland, coming through. The captain does the job.
Quinn Osborne cleans it up. You got number 2, Jalen Jones right there, gets down to the legs, and Quinn Osborne doesn't let the ball carrier for VMI get the yard to gain, and a big play, big stop for William Mary, turnover and downs. We talked about how William Mary would come out and respond. Sean, defense did their job on that possession.
Absolutely did. Great team defense there. Initial defender making the run ball carrier bounce out so the pursuit could get to him.
Damian Harris back with his number 4 jersey to the near side of the football field with the man in motion to the right, the tight end. There's the snap. Quarterback back to pass. The left-hander Darius Wilson being chased, throwing it downfield complete. And that is going to be a nice stick or getaway. That's Bronson Yoder from one tackler. He's still on his feet inside the 50 and down to the 41-yard line. Mr. Official, move those chains. What a nifty move by Bronson Yoder to the near side.
Tribe going hurry up here. Might not see this replay right now, but a great little move. Takes a hit and then ducks under another second tackler, pushes forward, gets across midfield.
Quick snap, handoff up the middle. Again, that is going to be Bronson Yoder trying to get the edge, and now he'll cut it up, and he'll get about 9, maybe 10 yards out of it. That's the beauty of Bronson Yoder. He makes a play that might get 2 yards into 10 in a hurry.
He's just got great patience and the ability to stick his foot in the ground and get that ball north and south. Always has his eyes up, great vision.
And I think, guys, sometimes he's out of Napanee, Indiana. Sometimes we forget that he came on as a defensive back. I mean, his first year, he returned one, a kickoff return. He was a special teams player, defensive back. I think whatever coach made him a running back should get a raise. Second down. 2. Left side pass. And that's going to be complete and a first down.
How about Bronson Yoder blocking on the edge, too, today? Motions out of the backfield, gets a big kick-out block on the wide receiver screen there. Clears a path for Drayshawn Kendrick to get up and get the first.
Drayshawn Kendrick was the recipient of the pass and the first down run as the Tribe edging towards the red zone. Moving right to left here in the third quarter and leading already 28-7. 2 receivers
pressure
to the near side.
Look for the key to bring some pressure here.
Oh, yeah, they got everybody up there, don't they? They're going to throw out to the left side. That is complete, and that's Damian Harris makes the catch. And he says he didn't go down, but the referee said he did with his elbow back at the 26-yard line.
Good
Gain
job
of a yard.
Isaiah Grievous flowing out there to make that play. Had a play there, William Mary did. Good kick-out block there. If you can make one player miss, you might have had a one-on-one play, try to break through a tackle, but Isaiah Grievous out of Charlottesville came up to make that play.
I have seen Damian Harris just have some unbelievable practices and great catches. He's going to be a real asset to this team as the season moves on. He wears number 4, but he's not in the game right now. It's second down and 9. Quarterback Wilson pitches back to Mathis. Mathis will get the edge on the right, get hole. He's at the 20 and the 10. He's at the 5. He is into the end zone. Touchdown, William and Mary. Touchdown, green and gold. Hollis Mathis getting pay dirt for the second time tonight.
Hollis got the edge, and you see the burst, and you just talk about him being described as the athlete on the field. You just see the explosion.
Another one of those plays, Jay, is going to go down as a touchdown pass for Darius Wilson. A little pop pass forward there, underhand toss it. Darius Wilson gets a touchdown pass. Hollis Mathis is going to get credit for the long touchdown reception.
You know, Hollis has got, if he gets over 590. Have 1,000 career yards in rushing, receiving, and passing. The extra point is good by Bernstein, and we got a timeout on the field. It is William and Mary 35 and VMI 7.
all buckled up. Let's go.
Tuition Monster, how are you here already? She's only 2 days old.
And that means there's only 6,720 days till she's off to college. But it is a bit snug back here, so next time I'll be calling shotgun. Vroom, vroom.
Tame the tuition monster with the Virginia 529 savings account. Learn how at virginia529.com.
Hey you doom scrolling. You're gonna want to see this. It's Oople, the app that rewards you for your time.
William & Mary Athletics would like to thank the following partners for their continued support. Virginia 529, proud partner of William & Mary Athletics. The William & Mary Bookstore. Embassy Suites by Hilton, proud partner of William & Mary Athletics. Tribe on top 35-7 over VMI right now. We gave you that score earlier. Wake Forest is leading North Carolina A&T 17-10 at the half. The scoreboard update presented by Embassy Suites by Hilton, the official hotel partner of William & Mary Athletics. Hey fans, on Friday, September the 20th, the Tribe will celebrate the best of its best as 6 individuals and 1 team will be inducted into the William & Mary Athletics Hall of Fame. Complete details and registration information can be found by clicking the QR code on the screen. That should be quite an evening, as it always is, and the two men I have the privilege of working with in the booth have both been inducted into the William & Mary Athletic Hall of Fame, Sean Knight and Mike Leach. And here we go. We'll ask them about that evening, if you guys can harken back to the day, and maybe the day you found out, Sean. You remember that day that somebody called you and say, hey, Hall of Famer?
I do remember that day. I mean, it was just an incredible honor. You just think about the great tradition of Tribe football and the players that have come through Williamsburg. It's just such an honor to be recognized alongside those great players.
Mike, I should know this, but you played in the NFL so doggone long. Do they have to do it in another time, or did you?
No, I was able to. I think it was the off season then, so I was able to get in there and do it. Yeah, it wasn't in the fall, so I was able to get here and get on campus and enjoy the festivities in person.
Well, it's a great night. There we are in the booth there, both the men that surround me there, and play is downfield and it's complete.
Great play by Christian Ham there, shedding the block and making that tackle. Great play.
Yeah, I've tried to set up a wide receiver, or excuse me, a tight end screen there, and like you said, sniffed out there well by Ham.
Tight end was Morgan McFall. Didn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, lost a yard or two. 2nd down and 12. Colin Shannon back to pass the football in the pocket, running out of time over the middle and nearly intercepted by Elijah Rayner again. That's his 2nd one that he had a chance at. Hey, but the redshirt freshman has been at the right place at the right time a couple of times.
And Christian Ham too, Jay, right there on that play. Great job just coming off that edge, bull rush right through the right tackle there for VMI, pushed him right back into the quarterback, got a hit on the quarterback just as they let that ball go. So 2 great plays in a row from Christian Ham.
3rd down and 12. Shannon looking over the Tribe defense. Here they come with 5 men, and a flag goes down before the play.
Looks like they're going to have a false start. I think the right tackle moved. Yeah, they've been living on the edge, VMI, this whole game, trying to jump that snap a bit. I think they could have called it a few times already today, but they finally got that right tackle for moving a little early.
This 3rd and ultra long is not a situation the Keydets like to be in.
Talk about that Hall of Fame on the 20th of September. Katie Radliff, graduate 2010 in swimming. Dr. Alex Sleeker, men's golf, a great golfer in 1997, among others, among Jonathan Grimes out of the football program. There's a screenplay. Boy, does that work beautifully or what? On third down, second down and long, and they'll get a lot of that back.
About 14 of the 15 yards back, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Looks like they're running the punting unit onto the field, but well-designed play. William Mary drops back. Now they have to try to make a big play down the field. They're a little too soft there. Good blocking out front. And, whenever these running backs for VMI get the ball in their hand in some open space, they can make some plays. That time, Luke Shallow, the big pickup.
Punter is Ben Shrewsbury. Trayshawn Kendrick deep for the Tribe. But right now, Tribe had to take a timeout because they had too many men on the field. A little bit of a first game jitters, if you will, or a learning curve. Coach London having none of those excuses, though. He is hopping mad on the sideline, taking a timeout because of that. I mean, this is a 35-7 game, but they all won't be like this, gentlemen. Hey, speaking of which, let's look ahead at the calendar. The Tribe on September the 7th will be at Coastal Carolina. That's the FBS game this year. That's a 7 o'clock game. We'll have the pregame show on the radio at 6:30. That'll be on tideradio.com. That's TIDE radio.com, or obviously locally on 92.3 FM. Then after that at Wofford, so 2 games back-to-back in South Carolina on the 14th of the month. And that is a 6 o'clock kickoff. Trayshawn Kendrick is deep. Shrewsbury with his foot in the football, and it's a really nice kick. That ball will turn over and be a fair catch called for, and then a flag goes down. At least I thought it was a fair catch.
I didn't see must have been a real early fair catch signal. I was watching for a while to see if there was going to be a fair catch signal. Didn't see it. He must have made the signal early in that punt, and that's a tough one sometimes as a cover guy. If that hand goes up real early, sometimes you miss it. I'm going to be honest, I missed the signal myself. As we see if we have a replay, how early the arm of the returner did go up.
Catch interference. Kicking team, number 6.
Yeah.
15 penalty. First down.
And I think that was Jalen Jones. I miscalled that.
That was Jalen Jones.
Not Grayshawn. Grayshawn had been out there before the timeout, but
see, it must have happened well before that. Luckily, those legs were out of the ground. If that hit was a little lower, it could have been ugly. The signal happened really early. It's tough, like I said, when you're that cover guy, you're hustling down there trying to make a play. Yeah, they're going to review it. We'll see when that signal happened. I was unaware this was a reviewable play, but
Now, Mike Leach, this is something you can talk about, because for 16 years as a long snapper, you took some pride in getting down there early and at the very least upsetting the run back. Tell us about what that gunner is thinking right here.
Well, he's just trying to get down there and make a play for his team, and obviously he didn't see a fair catch signal. Even in that replay, you could see there was no fair catch signal. Sometimes there were some punters or some return guys that I remember back in NFL, as soon as the ball was kicked, they'd throw the hand signal up there, and obviously that one, we didn't see it in that replay, and we'll see if we see it another replay when we get back from this break.
VCU Health in William & Mary is now conveniently located at 332 North Henry Street in Williamsburg. Have a sprain or a strain? Fast relief is easy. VCU Health offers same-day visits, on-site x-rays, and free patient parking. Have we had a decision by the umpires, referees, as to whether Jalen Jones threw up that hand in time or not?
Well, we're still under the replay board there, trying to see what's happening. William Mary offense ready to go from the spot after the penalty was added on, but officials have yet to make a final decision. Jay, a little update. Wake Forest scored a touchdown up 24-10 now over North Carolina A&T.
Pretty good slate of action, actually, in the CAA.
With targeting. Number 6 is disqualified for the rest of the game.
Wow, they upgraded
not
that
only
penalty.
Normally you see targeting, Jay, you think he shot to the head, but this time he drops his head and hits him in the midsection, and you go see that targeting as well. Let's see, now we got the full play here. Well, obviously we'll see it early. Yeah, gave a clear signal. It was just early in that punt. And then you use the crown of the helmet to deliver the blow, and it's insult to injury there for the cover man for VMI.
Yeah, so they had 2 number 6s, Joe Camello as a cornerback and Noah Grievous as a wide receiver. We're gonna guess it was Joe Camello. So he is out of the game, and the Tribe will get good field position, and Darius Wilson will sling it down the field, and that's a completed pass inside the 35 and running to bounds at the 32-yard line. Mr. Official, move those chains. Damian Harris, the 6 foot, 190-pound senior out of Durham, North Carolina, makes a catch.
Just a great corner route by Damian out there. Great, excellent timing with Darius, and a strong throw. Well executed play. Great job up front with the offensive line.
Actually, give us some stats in a moment, Mike, after that pass from Darius Wilson. He's been on target tonight. Hadn't thrown the ball a ton, but he's got some good numbers to show for it, I think. There's a handoff to Malachi Emo, who tries to find a hole and gets inside the 30 and down to the 28.
Yeah, Darius Wilson 9 of 13 for 173 in that touchdown. Hollis 1 for 1 for 27 as well. But Darius Wilson really a great start to the season for him. And Drayshawn Kendrick 3 catches for 35 yards, and Hollis 2 for 71. So really got a lot of guys with touches here for the Tribe. It's nice to see some balance in the passing attack.
2 receivers to the near side of the football field. Quarterback is Darius Wilson. He will fake a handoff, and they'll pitch back to the left side. Malachi Emo with a dart move inside the 25 and run it a bounce at the 19. The Tribe in the red zone once again. The red zone action brought to you by Waypoint Grill. For every game day moment, trust Waypoint Grill to deliver. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
We talked about JT Mayo being the best of a great group of blocking wide receivers. Did a good job right there. Had a good block going on downfield. Once that ball bounced outside, he let go. Didn't get called for a holding, and allowed the first down to happen for the Tribe.
Hollis Mathis and Damian Harris wide to the right side of the football field. Number 11, Darius Wilson, the senior quarterback out of the Bronx. Pitch back to the right side over the head of Malachi Emo, who very smartly picks it up, and his momentum carried him out of bounds. Big loss there.
Huge loss. That option was pretty well defended by the Keydets. Sometimes when you run that option, you just got to kind of take the lesser of all evils there.
Just well done, strung out. One guy for the pitch, one for the quarterback, and yep, a lot of times you see your quarterback just kind of turn up and get down there, just live to fight another play.
Minimize your loss.
2nd and about 24 yards to go for the green and gold. It is a whiteout tonight here at Zabel Stadium. Over 8,000 fans enjoying in this one so far, and that's Malachi Emo trying to get a bunch of it back, and he does inside the 20. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then some. It'll bring up a bit more manageable, as they say. 8 to go.
Jay, some blocks are big, devastating blocks. Other times it's just getting there and getting a hand on somebody. And Caden Lynch did a great job on the screen. You'll see him running out here, right here to the right side of the screen, and just gets just enough of a defender right there to allow Malachi Emo to bounce up inside and get, like you said, a big chunk of that back and bring up a manageable 3rd down.
Good job for Caden, who was the CAA's highest rated guard last year. Caden Lynch, the sophomore out of Weaverville, North Carolina. 3rd down and 8, low snap. Wilson in the pocket being chased, now getting up and running the football. He's got to run now. He's made a commitment, and he will be thrust forward to about the 10-yard line. It'll come up a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards shy. And the field goal unit immediately comes onto the field. I like this move, guys. This is a young field goal team with a new place kicker, a new snapper, and I like this move at this time of the game.
I do. Love to see him get some reps here, live action. Obviously, it had some extra points, but get the field goal team out there, get a rep in that as well. And I don't know about you, Jay, but as a coach and even up here in the booth, when you got your quarterback running in a play like this, you hold your breath a bit in a game like this one. But good job by Darius Wilson, absorbing a hit, getting down, and bringing up a chance for 3 points.
28-yard field goal attempt. Everything is perfect, and so is the kick.
We got a flag, though, Jay. We had a little movement by VMI, and I think William Mary moved after. Going to be interesting if they said that William Mary got back, or they're going to take the points off the board and give a first down. Yeah.
Danny Rocco across the way. He had a very good record at Richmond and Delaware versus the Tribe in his tenure at those two universities. A coach with Coach London at Virginia back in the day. And
offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. The results in a first down.
Well, it is a first and goal for the Tribe.
Yeah, I think they blew it dead before the kick, so no option, just take the points. I think right before the snap, you got to flinch. That's not, nobody moved there for the Tribe, so interesting that they blew that one. I didn't see any contact either.
So Wilson will call the play here on first and goal at the 6-yard line. Malachi Emo beside him. He will get the football, and Malachi will take off up the middle, and he's still maneuvering down to the 2-yard line. And the 93 making the stop for 43 maybe, Henry Burling.
Okay, signal and give me the hurry up, let's go again move. He wants to hurry up and go so no one can come in, Sean, and take his touchdown. He wants to get this one.
Luke Scott also on the play for VMI.
Each of the Tribe backs just so difficult to bring down with that first contact.
Charles Grant up to the line of scrimmage, that right tackle. They'll move it that way, and that will be at the 1-yard line, and he will be stopped right there, Malachi Emo. It'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 1.
Got a big body in the backfield leading the way. Trey McDonald lining up the tight end in that fullback position and trying to find a way to pick through there. Finally found someone to kick out, but a good job sealing up the inside by VMI.
Yeah, Spate, Jackson, and Starnes up front. They're starters anyway, defensively. 3rd down and goal to go from the 1. Quick snap, fake of the handoff. He'll roll to the left, throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, William and Mary. Touchdown, green and gold. A touchdown toss gets into the end zone, and that was Sean McElwain, the very talented tight end. First touchdown of the year for Sean.
Great play design, play action pass, fake that run, and you see a little half roll out here to the left, and a great job by Darius Wilson getting it just enough on that. A little wobbly, those are a tough one to catch, and you're that open as a tight end. You're waiting for that ball to get in your hand, and sometimes you got a little flutter on that one like that one did. It's a little hard.
Sean out of Glen Allen, Virginia, with his 2nd touchdown of his career, and the extra point is no good. Off to the left. So with 2:59 remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Tribe expands their lead. Did a good job in the 3rd quarter, leading 41-7 now. And, that was one of our bugaboos, as we mentioned last year. Slow starts in the 3rd quarter. Sean, a very quick and effective 3rd quarter for William & Mary tonight.
Very much so. Again, they came out solid on defense, discipline on defense, and again, just methodical on the offense. Charles Grant, that offensive line, continuing to be effective in controlling the line of scrimmage.
Well, here's a good shot at just that. Little wobbly, dying duck falls into the hands of McElwain.
Mike, does it sometimes seem like it takes forever for that ball to come down in those situations?
It sure does. You know you're open. You just want to get that ball in your hands as quick as possible. When you got that much time to think about it, it makes it that much harder. But great concentration by McElwain, who had 22 receptions last year, 312 yards, and average 14.1 per catch. So picking up right where he left off.
So the Tribe defense is on the field with 2:59 remaining. Let's get some numbers, maybe some number changes as in this game. I know 38 is out there. Jaden Boring, he's been playing for much of the game tonight. On a very hot night, humid night here in Williamsburg. Good to see Jalen Jones, most importantly, back. He was a little shaken up on that when the VMI Cadet hit him pretty hard on that fair catch situation. But he's back in the game now at cornerback. Handoff, Hunter Rice, and Rice will dig deep. Actually, that is not Rice, that is Luke Shallow. Shallow gets a couple of yards on the play, 2nd down and 8.
3 yards, that'll bring up 2nd down for the Cadets.
Rice 16 carries for 76. Shallow, I think that was his 5th carry of the night.
Second down, 8 to go. Back to pass the quarterback over the middle. Ball popped up in the air and intercepted and then fumbled right back to the man who was the intended receiver, who was right there in the right place at the right time, Nathan Lahotsky.
Marcus Barnes is going to get credited for interception and a fumble on the same play. Positive play, and it's going to be a 1st down for VMI as well.
And he might take a little ribbing for that in the locker room after the game.
2nd interception in Marcus Barnes' career, and here is a second look at it.
Good job there, good play there by number 11, Trace Pedigo for VMI. Just sticks that hand in there and gets just a piece to knock it out, and right there, and luckily falls for VMI right back into Nathan Lahotsky's hands, who was lying on the ground.
And guys, because it was a change in possession, it's a 1st down, even though it was not 1st down yardage. So here we go, 1st and 10 for VMI. Tribe on top, 41-7. Waning moments of the 3rd quarter here on a Saturday or Thursday night. I keep saying Saturday, a Thursday night here in Williamsburg. Love a Thursday night start. Handoff, that is Shallow, and he'll get across the 35 out to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
Well, Jay, in your defense, I mean, it's a lively crowd. It feels like a Saturday night crowd.
College football is back.
There's a lot of mixed emotions about Thursday night games in the NFL, Jay. Some guys don't like the short week. They feel like maybe it leads to more injuries, but when you get through them unscathed, the guys like having them as an extra bye week almost. You get that weekend off, so it was kind of a double-edged sword there, but the one edge of the sword was the reward of getting another free weekend. So it was I always enjoyed them. I didn't get beat up too much, Jay. I didn't get hit much.
Over the middle it goes, incomplete. Good defense for the Tribe. That's Marcus Barnes around the football. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Pardon me, they give Quinn Osborne credit for breaking the pass up.
I think it was Marcus on the coverage, though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
3rd and 7. 4 receivers in the game for VMI, 3 to the near side and 1 to the far. Man in motion back this way. They flood the right side of the field and go over the middle, incomplete to Lahotsky. Nathan Lahotsky out of Bridgeport, West Virginia, had that one in his hands, but might have heard the footsteps.
Yeah, he's dropped a few of them tonight that I think he'd like to have back.
Yeah, it was a good throw. That one appeared to be right on the money there from Colin Shannon.
Now Drayshawn Kendrick is back deep for William & Mary. Ben Shrewsbury will kick it to him. Kick is away. Drayshawn at the 21-yard line. Gets off his feet and gets out to the 28, maybe the 29. So we'll flip the charts, and the Tribe will have the football with just 51 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
The big block there by John Carney. May have gotten away with a hold, we'll see, but obviously the refs didn't throw a flag there, but Carney continue to add that spark on the special teams unit. Had the block kick earlier. He's always in the mix on tackles, and obviously loves to play that third phase of the game on the special teams, does John Carney.
Had a man injured on the field across the way. We do welcome a new advertiser to the telecast, brought to you by Scar and Pain Wellness Solutions. For expert care and recovery, trust Scar and Pain Wellness Solutions. Good look at Danny Rocco talking to the referee. Well, he is a very good coach. He'll do well here at VMI, as he already has. Very defensive minded, if you will.
You know, again, we talk about, you know, building culture and establishing culture in the program, and just about everywhere Danny Rocco has been, you know, his teams really have been marked by a toughness and a grit that I think flows, you know, from the head down.
Great stat here, Jay. Sean McElwain, 1 catch for 1 yard, 1 touchdown, long of 1, averaging 1 yard, targeted 1 time.
I call that a perfect line.
100% completion percentage.
So they marked the ball back at the 20-yard line. Apparently, Drayshawn may have his knee touched the ground when he caught that ball. There's a run to the left side of the field by Martin Lucas. Our first shot at looking at big Martin Lucas, 6'2", 250-pound junior out of Abington.
And we got to change the quarterback, Jay. Tyler Hughes taking the snaps.
Good for 8 yards. That'll bring up second.
Like we got Cameron Fry in there, left tackle now.
Good job, guys. Get these numbers correct and get these young men that work so hard to get on the field of play. And tell you what, you come to practice, Tyler Hughes has a gun for an arm. I don't know how much we're going to be able to see that leading 41-7, but he is a real outstanding quarterback, a sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia.
It's great to get a game this early where you can get some young guys some exposure, get them some reps. You never know in this game when you're going to need somebody to fill in. So that's the end of the third quarter. Jay, William Mary up 41-7. We'll be right back.
Beautiful Thursday night here in the Berg. The Tribe fans, faithful, happy so far as we head to the fourth quarter of play. on top 41-7 over the VMI Keydets. It'll be Tribe football. Third down and short to begin the fourth quarter. Let's see if they can continue running clock as Tyler Hughes is the quarterback. Tyler will fake the handoff and roll to his left. Now flip it, and that ball is going to be knocked away beautifully by the defender for the Keydets. Taj Sumi, I think, got in there and knocked it away. Good defensive play, and the Tribe will be forced to punt it away. Guys, great news. Coach Julie Shackford's team wins their second game in a row as the women's soccer team beats VCU by scoring 2 goals in the last 5 minutes and beating VCU 2-1.
Yeah, the 85th minute, Lindsey Wilson scores a goal to tie it up, and then 2.5 minutes later, looks like Peyton Costello banged one in for the game-winning goal for the Tribe.
Wow, great job. They beat George Mason earlier in the week 3-0. We got a timeout on the field. Also, a note, a former fellow broadcaster, he was in y'all's shoes several years ago, Scott Hayes, outstanding defensive back for the Tribe in the 70s, listening in Hilton Head and viewing in Hilton Head, South Carolina tonight. Hopefully he'll be able to come to one or both those games that we have in South Carolina.
Maybe Coastal Carolina, yeah.
Coastal Carolina, and then Walford.
Walford.
I may play golf with him all week. Mike, you want to come down?
For
and
his
join
sake,
me?
I hope you chose not to do that.
Oh, here's a shot, guys, and look your best.
Yeah, I wouldn't have loosened my tie if I knew we were coming to a booth camp. Looking a little disheveled. It's a hot night, hot in the booth as well.
The punt is away.
That's a definition of a line drive punt, Jake.
And it goes off the third baseman. He'll pick it up, runs that ball to the right side and down very quickly. That was Taj Sumi, had nowhere to go. Yeah, Ruben Anderson kicked it low and hot.
Taken down by number 17, Matthew Lehigh for the Tribe.
So Lehigh made the tackle for William & Mary. You know, Coach London, and you hear this from every coach in the country every year at the end of, fall camp, and then you got a couple of weeks of practice. They're ready to hit somebody else other than the guys they supposedly love. Their brothers, Sean, they've done a good job hitting tonight.
They have. I think coaches really put a premium on trying to make sure they took care of the players during the preseason. Limited full contact, but the players are rewarding them for that. Tackling well and playing well.
A lot of time camp gets chippy at the end, Jay. You just get tired of hitting each other and just a grudge from a play or a practice sometimes carry over to the next and the defense and the offense start getting annoyed with each other. But it's great to get to that game week and start prepping for someone else and finally get to go against another opponent is very refreshing.
That was reserve Desmond Cook on that last play defensively, by the way. Colin Shannon back to pass and rushed out of the pocket and throws it downfield incomplete. Intended for Egypt Nelson, 6'4" sophomore out of Booker T. Washington in Norfolk.
Okay, Tribe fans, it's third down.
Third down.
Tribe's done a pretty good job of getting off the field. Let's see if they can do it again here.
Third down conversion so far, VMI 3 of 9. The Tribe has been pretty good at it, 4 of 6. Third down and 7 to go for the Keydets here in the fourth quarter. Tribe leading big, back to pass. Colin Shannon, he's going to get away from a would-be tackler or two, and now dropped by Alex Washington.
Christian Ham almost had him completely wrapped up.
Taken down by Alex Washington.
Yeah, that would have been a quarterback sack.
Out of there.
That would have been a quarterback sack to get back too, but not to be.
But still good enough to get off the field. Force a punt by VMI. Trayshawn Kendrick back again to return this kick.
Then Shrewsbury punting for the 5th time tonight. Line drive kick, and that will take a big VMI bounce out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Where they mark it is at the 17, and that's where the Tribe will begin this drive with 13 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the ball game. It's all William and Mary looking to go 1-0 to start the 24 campaign. We'll be right back.
Back here at Zabel Stadium, Tribe up top 41-7. William Mary taking over at the 22-yard line after forcing VMI to punt. And pretty much all William Mary so far in this game is Tyler Hughes keeks it, gets around the outside, running down that sideline. Good ball fake there, fooled a lot of people up here in the booth as well. Looked like a handoff, keeps it himself. We've got a flag back here on the 14-yard line.
Great action there. Tyler Hughes showing some speed. Getting out on the edge.
Personal foul. Dismissed. Offense number 74. Half the distance to the goal. Replay first down.
74 for William Mary. James Spanauer, the reserve offensive lineman, getting his first action. Unfortunately, didn't get his name announced for a good reason there over the PA system. Took away a big play for William and Mary, but again, good to see some action there. Like you said, Sean, good to see Tyler Hughes. We talked about his arm strength, but good to see he's got some wheels out there as well.
Yeah, he's definitely a dual threat quarterback. Has a really strong arm, but also showing his ability to run the football.
After the penalty, William Mary backed up now, first and about 20.
Tyler Hughes throwing that ball backwards very precariously from where he was, but it's going to turn out just fine, as that is a first down run by William and Mary there.
It's not an option pitch I'm used to, but it works.
I want to see that replay. Did I see what I just saw? That was very interesting technique there. It rolls out, just a little backwards pass, overhand pass right to Carson Jenkins. He does a good job picking up some big yardage.
Yeah, Carson, one of the speedier men on this team, and uses his speed, and Tribe will keep that drive alive. We got an injured player on the field for VMI across the way. All right, here's the upcoming broadcast. Field hockey versus Richmond at 1 o'clock this coming Sunday, or Saturday actually. Volleyball versus Old Dominion, 6 o'clock. September the 3rd, September the 4th, men's soccer versus Longwood, 7 o'clock. And on the 5th, women's soccer, fresh off that victory over VCU today with, versus Richmond at 7 o'clock.
Good pass on the flat there from Tyler Hughes to number 0, Martin Lucas. Does a good job turning upfield. Martin Lucas, not a lot of action last year. He had a couple games where we saw extended action, especially after the injury to Bronson Yoder, but did end up with 4 touchdowns last year.
He's one of those guys. I guess, you know, that is his role. You get down to the 2 or 1 yard line, close to the goal line, you just do not want to get in the path of the 6'2", 250-pound junior out of Abington, Virginia. He is a load to bring down. 1st and 10, Tyler Hughes hands off to Martin Lucas again. Nobody wants to get in front of him, do they? He got a 10-yard run, make it a 12, maybe a 13-yard run as he gets across the 50 and down to the 39-yard line. Mr. Official, move those chains. 1st and 10, green and gold.
Yeah, you talk about Martin Lucas. He is the definition of a downhill runner, and he is a load once he gets to running downhill.
Tyson Garrett into the game for the green and gold.
Hayden Raleigh and Aiden Cunningham in at the offensive line position for William Mary as well.
There's number 41, Tyson Garrett. Run quickly to the left side for 5 yards, down to the 39. Going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for William & Mary with the clock running, 10:39 remaining in this ball game. And the Tribe looking to go 1-0 on the season. Last time these two teams, last time William & Mary played a Thursday night game here at Zabel Stadium was against Delaware back in 2007, and it was the opening matchup of the CAA football. It was quite an evening, as I remember it. There's a roll to the right side and knocked out of bounds.
Trying to get the speedster Carson Jenkins on the edge there, but again, the option played well there by VMI.
Makeup of the league is certainly changing, fellas. We have some time to maybe get a little bit in depth to it with Delaware making the announcement. They're going to go to FBS football, and Richmond making the announcement earlier this year. They're going to go to another league. The Patriot League, as a matter of fact.
Patriot.
3rd down and 4, back to pass in the pocket, over the middle, complete to Carson Jenkins, who's getting quite a bit of airtime here in the last quarter, and that'll move the chains and get that clock running. But you know, the Richmond, both of them kind of, concern is certainly not the term you want to use, but you know, there is change in college football all over the place, and certainly to the highest order. Richmond is a bit concerning for Tribe fans that are used to that Richmond game being the final game of the year for 100 years or more.
Often implications for the conference and the playoffs at the end of the year.
Right, absolutely, very often. The powers that be, I think what I've heard anyway, there's Martin Lucas again for a 9-yard pickup, will continue the series, but whether it's the last game of the year or not is still very much up in the air.
Yeah, that game has always been a very special game. We often billed as the oldest rivalry in the South. The I-64 Bowl, just the relationship that the two institutions have had for so long. But it's just a part of the continual changing nature of college athletics, and particularly college football at all levels, whether you're talking FBS or FCS.
Tyson Garrett on the run there. 3rd down and about 2 to go for William & Mary. Under 8 minutes to play in this ball game. William & Mary with a 41-7 lead over the VMI Keydets.
Jackson Blee and Owen Copeland in at tight end for the Tribe on this play. Couple young guys getting some reps in that tight end room.
Yeah, Blee, a redshirt freshman from Belmont, North Carolina. And that will be a keeper. That is a flag down. That's the quarterback going into the end zone for the touchdown, but Tyler Hughes would be his 5th touchdown of his career, his 2nd running touchdown, but I think this one's coming back.
Tyler Hughes thinking he can't buy a break here, Sean. It's 2 good running plays by him this drive. That one for a touchdown, and unfortunately it's coming back.
Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Yeah, it's a tough break for that young man.
Yeah, James Spainhour caught for using his hands improperly.
You know, Jay, kind of going back to the changing landscape of college football, you know, for those of us who've been a part of that rivalry, I'm sure Mike, you know, probably can allude to some of this and feel some of this as well. I mean, it's always been just such an important part of that season, often, as Mike alluded to, having implications within the conference, whether it's the old Yankee conference or the CAA. You know, hate to see that in-conference rivalry go away.
Yeah. Throw over the middle, complete. Mike, any comments on that?
Yeah, like Sean was saying, you hope it continues, and you know, you build some relationships with some of the guys who you played against, and a lot of guys are from this area. The guys here at William Mary, the guys at Richmond, a lot of them you played against in high school, a lot of the in-state guys, and the guys that stuck around. Is, you know, for me, a guy named Paris Lennon, Winston October, guys that, you know, come out of playing for Richmond, and you see every once in a while, and you can reminisce and talk about the old days with those guys, and you hope that continues. You know, these are guys that you may see down the road in business and in life, and it's great to have those relationships with guys from other institutions as well.
Hey, we're going to see at Eric Bernstein's leg here, 49-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it appears to be long enough, and it is no good. Just off to the right. Is that correct?
Wide right.
Wide right. Had plenty of legs, though, from 49 yards. And the ball will go back to VMI here.
You get spoiled a bit. You had Caden Bonofsky last year, did such a great job transferring here from Davidson, and good job getting the ball down. Like you said, Jay, hit it well. Just left that ball hanging out to the right, maybe expecting a little draw, and it just hung out there. And you know, they'll get it worked out. They'll figure this thing out. And you know, having a really competent field goal kicker is important. Obviously, plenty of leg from that young man, and I think he'll get this thing figured out. Glad to see him get some reps. And if you're going to miss, nice to miss when you're up 41-7 late in the 4th.
Right.
He's not happy right now, but it'll hurt less tomorrow. That's for sure.
I was going to make this note while the Tribe was on offense. Obviously, Bronson Yoder and Malachi Emo are done for the evening. Both of them had a touchdown together. Gentlemen, they have combined for 50 touchdowns in their careers here at William & Mary.
Just a real testament to the character of those two young men. Either one of them could be a featured back in an offense, and the willingness to share duty in that backfield together, to continue to support one another. When you watch them, when one is scoring, the other one is probably their biggest cheerleader to see the other scoring. And so again, just a testament to the character of those two young men.
Good to see some balance too, Jay. I know we've seen some really gaudy rushing numbers the last few years from William & Mary, but you know, just under 200 at 198 on the ground and 241 through the air. So really good balance by this Tribe offense.
Fumble on the snap as the backup quarterback Chandler Wilson gets his first snap from center and has to fall on it and lose a half yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Well, how would you grade Darius Wilson in his first start in his 4th year of starting, Sean?
Honestly, I think I'm grading him probably an A- tonight. I mean, I think he's played a really good game. Been very, very composed for the most part. Has taken what the defense has given him. You know, maybe a couple of decisions I think he'd probably like to have back. But I think he's played a really solid football game today. Been under control. Been again, you know, patient, making the right decisions, not forcing the ball into bad situations, taking the ball and running with it when he didn't have anything downfield. Again, really proud of you know, just how composed he's been tonight.
Making bad decisions with his choice of food, though, eating some chips on the sideline. We got to get some healthier snacks down there for the guys to eat. I don't know about eating the potato chips on the sideline. Where's the nutritionist when you need it?
I mean, an A-. You're like a William & Mary professor. You're tough. You're a tough.
Hey, you got to remember now. You got to remember now. I played for Coach Jimmy Laycock, man.
Okay.
No grade inflation around here, Jay.
There's no grade inflation in Williamsburg.
But throwing at a 73% clip, if Darius Wilson complete balls at a 73% percentage this year. I think his offense will go places.
He gets dinged for ball security, man, coughing that fumble up earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good point. All right, I'll buy the A-. Mike, I'm going to ask you to judge the defense here in a few moments. There's the snap, pitch back left side from the wide receiver sweep, and they smell that one out pretty good. Gain of a couple of yards across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. Coming up, making the play for William & Mary was Jaden Joyner.
Jaden gets a little dinged on that play, coming off the field, come up, laid a big hit, but that's about a grade. Yeah, I think it's an incomplete so far. Obviously, big win, only giving up 7 points, but I want to see who's really going to step up and be that big playmaker. Obviously, saw some flashes from Christian Ham coming off that edge, and we having Nate Lynn and John Pius last few years, we've been really spoiled with their ability to get to the quarterback, and we're going to see who really can become that guy as we get into league play. Who can be that big pressure guy to really disrupt some of these probably more impressive passing teams that we'll see a little bit later down the road.
Well, next up for the Tribe, we'll venture into FBS territory down at Coastal Carolina a week from this coming Saturday. It is a 7 o'clock kick down there at Myrtle Beach, and 6:30 for the pregame show along the radio network, which will be on. The Tribe Sports Network will go to the radio side of things for the next 2 games, as a matter of fact, both in South Carolina, Coastal Carolina, and then Wofford on back-to-back weeks. You can pick up the radio broadcast on tideradio.com, TIDE radio.com, or, of course, if you're local, 92.3 FM, the Tide.
Go back to that incomplete grade, Jay. It's by no means putting them down, the effort they put out there today. The guys are flying around and running around and making plays, and I just want to see who's going to be that guy to step up at that outside rush position. But I love the effort, the fight by these guys, and the passion that they play with on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, I mean, I would ask both of you, it's the obvious, and we say this often, when a team wins that first game, there are 2 comments that you make as the backup quarterback Chandler Wilson gets near a first down, that nose of the football. They may give it to him, and they do. But 2 comments on the first game. First of all, it's good to win and have some things to work on. Mike?
Yeah, you do. I mean, I think great coaching staffs will find things to work on whether you win or you lose, and there's always things you can work on it to improve. You go in, you self-scout, you get through the game hopefully unscathed, and you go and you learn from it. And you got to start preparing right away for next week, and you enjoy a victory for the short time. But this is just so early in what's a long season here in college football. So you enjoy it, but you get right back to work, and you got to have your eyes on the prize at the end of the season. And you take every victory. This is a hard game to play, and you got to enjoy every victory. But you got to get right back to work.
Yeah, what is a 12-game season, by the way, this year in college football? And Sean, the other comment that you typically see and make, coaches think that the biggest leap in a positive sense is between game 1 and game 2, and they've got a couple more days to work on it, because there's 10 games between now and the next 10 days rather between now and the next game.
Typically, and having that extra time, is really good. I think they're going to have some in the next couple of games. There's some good tests coming. I think we'll see a little bit more about what the Tribe is made of in the next couple of weeks. And so again, there's quite a bit to work on from this game. So it's good to get a good win like this and still have something to work on. A couple of timeouts burned with some personnel changes. You don't like to see that. Some untimely penalties. I think there's some things that the coaches can definitely work on.
Aslan Scheidt makes that catch on the pass from the quarterback Chandler Wilson. They knock him out of bounds before the marker, and it's 3rd down and 2. This clock is going to wind down to the 2-minute warning, and we are at the 2-minute warning of the 4th and final quarter here on this Thursday night in Williamsburg, with the score William & Mary 41 and VMI 7. We shall return for the final 2 minutes after this timeout.
All buckled up, let's go.
Tuition Monster, how are you here already? She's only 2 days old.
And that means there's only 6,720 days till she's off to college. But it is a bit snug back here, so next time I'll be calling shotgun. Vroom, vroom!
Tame the tuition monster with the Virginia 529 savings account. Learn how at virginia529.com.
Hey you doom scrolling. You're gonna want to see this. It's Oople, the app that rewards you for your time.
William & Mary Athletics would like to thank the following partners for their continued support. Virginia 529, proud partner of William & Mary Athletics. The William & Mary Bookstore. Embassy Suites by Hilton, proud partner of William & Mary Athletics.
If you are interested in registering for the Lord Bonaton Affair or would like to donate...
Tribe had one forced fumble and one interception tonight, even though the interception on the fumble went right back to VMI. But we do need to tell you that there was a turnover alert sponsored by Computer Concepts. For quick, reliable solutions like this game-changing play, trust Computer Concepts. Stay tuned next for the Pepsi post-game show, where we'll go over some statistics for you, look at the highlights of this game. Tribe will win it. Don't know the final score as yet, but it is 41-7, and it is now 3rd down and 2 for the VMI Keydets from the William & Mary 39-yard line. Tribe has one deep safety, and everybody else is up near the goal line. Chandler Wilson under center. And that is a handoff up the middle. And it's going to be very close to a first down. They bend him backwards a little bit. Christian Ham in on the tackle. Also coming out of there was number 38, Jaden Boring. But now it's 4th down and about a yard.
Good for a short gain that'll bring up 4th and 1 for the Cadets.
Desmond Clark in there. Mike linebacker position for William & Mary, getting some work.
Handoff up the middle, and that is a first down. Was that Shallow, I believe? Luke Shallow on the carry, yep.
Luke Shallow on the carry.
Redshirt sophomore. And it's a first down. The clock will continue to run, coming up on 1 minute to play. The Tribe comes in, 15th, 16th in the country, depending on what poll you use or look at or prefer. This time of the year, it's very hard to tell, particularly with all the, NIL stuff going on and the transfer portal stuff. But I think the Tribe certainly has proven their worth this time. And there's a tip, and there's an interception and a turnover brought to you by Computer Concepts. And that man is still on the run.
Got a flag down near where the line of scrimmage was. It was Jaden Ratliff with the interception.
A little extracurricular. Teams need to get settled. This one is over.
Penalty was right in that area of either holding or hands to the face by the defense. The way the teams are running off the field, it looks like it's most likely holding. I don't know if it was a post interception penalty. I didn't know if Sean, if you saw anything. I didn't see anything.
Let's go down to the field and listen in.
Blindside block. The block was led with the hands. No foul. It'll be first down, William & Mary.
No foul. They picked up the flag, and it'll be try ball to have, I guess, the prettiest play in all of football.
The absolute best play in all of football.
Kneel down. Get it out of here. Victory formation.
Victory formation, baby. The absolute best play from the best formation.
just sails a little bit there on Chandler Wilson, and a little too high for his receiver to bring down there, number 5, Egypt Nelson. And you don't get many more easier interceptions than that one right there.
Yep, give credit to number 19 on the INT, Jaden Ratliff. There's a run down to the right side of the field. That should about do it. That's Shank, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sean getting some burn there at the halfback position. Normally just a lead blocking fullback. The sideline, happy to see him getting a carry.
I guess we won't see the victory.
Yes,
formation.
we will not.
They wanted to give Ryan Shank a chance of carrying the football tonight.
I am all right with that.
Clock has wound down, and this one belongs to the Tribe. Game 1 is in the books. The final score, William & Mary makes it 26 wins in a row over the VMI Keydets. Tonight, the final score, the Tribe 41 and the VMI Keydets 7. Back for the Pepsi postgame show after these messages.
There's a new home for care in Richmond. A hospital for kids unlike any other. Because in your child's life, you'll never know when you'll need help. You'll never know who you'll need. You'll never know what is possible. But you'll always know where it will happen. The new Children's Tower, unlike any other.
A1 American keeps your plumbing perfect at your home and business. Fix those leaky toilets and faucets, dripping shower heads, water heaters, and slow drains now. Book before 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and get $75 off. Hurry, this offer ends September 30th. Homeowners and businesses, don't delay. Schedule your A1 American HVAC fall maintenance today, especially if you've had cooling problems this summer. Right now, get $650 off any replacement AC and heating system. Hurry, this offer ends September 30th.
William & Mary Athletics would like to thank the following partners for their continued support. VCU Health, the official healthcare partner of William & Mary Athletics. Pepsi, that's what I like. Aramark, the dining services partner of William & Mary. Virginia 529, proud partner of William & Mary Athletics. The William & Mary Bookstore. Embassy Suites by Hilton, proud partner of William & Mary Athletics. A huge thank you to our sponsors. You're the heart of everything we do. Well, over 8,000 fans show up tonight, first game of the year, and they go home happy, or certainly most of them do. Kudos to the fans that drove down from Lexington and beyond. A lot of VMI Keydet supporters and alums in this area as well. Matter of fact, we know some of them, but they were here, and the Tribe beat VMI for the 26th consecutive game, 41-7. There were 2 quarterback sacks. We need to get that in. The Food Line Feeds, Sack to Give Back program, Food Line Feeds will donate 2,000 meals to our neighbors in need through the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank. Tribe fans, howl a scream to the extreme on select dates from September the 8th through October the 31st. Your fate awaits with 5 newly reimagined haunted houses, leaving no tale of terror left unturned. There's a look at the final statistics, and pretty gaudy. 439 yards in total offense for the Tribe, just 241 for VMI, so both the offensive and defensive coordinators can be pretty happy about those numbers. VMI kind of did what they wanted to do. They kind of controlled possession by rushing for 145 yards, but the Tribe was just too much to handle for the Keydets tonight.
Yeah, just a strong effort all around, offense, defense, and special teams by the Tribe. Whenever you get those, a couple turnovers, you get a score on special teams. It's tough to overcome that. And William & Mary, obviously, the more dominant team. I think VMI is going to be much improved and should do some good things later on down the road. But it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out here with the Tribe in the upcoming week. You see Coach London on the field there with Athletic Director Brian Mann. So, I know they're all happy down there. Great to get a win week 1.
Well, let's roll those highlights, and gentlemen, I'll let you take it away.
great night for football. You see Bronson Yoder getting in, Darius Wilson fired up early in this game. As you know, not a lot to show here for William Mary other than touchdown after touchdown on all three phases. And you know, this is the really, like I said, a great win, a great emotional win for William Mary to get that first one as Hollis Mathis gets in. And William Mary comes out on top big in this one, 41-7.
You like to get that opener, but certainly a home opener. It's Coach London's first home opener, I believe, since his very first home opener here back in 2019. Again, good win. Obviously some things to work on, but I think they had an opportunity to get some quality reps for some of their reserve players. And most importantly, it appears that we got out of here with all the players healthy, which is going to be great going down the stretch.
Well, gentlemen, next time I'll have the pleasure of working with you all will be September the 21st versus Furman, a 6 p.m. game here at Zabel Stadium. We'll come on the air on Flow Sports right at the top of the hour at 6 o'clock. In between, 2 games on the road at Coastal Carolina, September the 7th at 7, and at Wofford at 6 o'clock. Both those games will be on the radio, tideradio.com. 92.3 FM. Yours truly will be bringing you all the exciting play-by-play. Thanks again to today's game sponsor, Williamsburg International Airport, proud partner of the Tribe. For Mike Leach and Sean Knight, this is Jay Colley. Until next time, from Zabel Stadium in Williamsburg, the final score, William & Mary 41 and VMI 7. Good night, everyone.